In this video, I'm going to be sharing
All right, let's see. Is my mic on? It is. Hello, everybody. I don't know what happened here. I'm trying to turn on my mic and switch my scene, and then everybody... Crap. Okay, here we go. Am I back? Just saying hi to everybody, saying hi to Arif, saying hi to Nobody, saying hi to Magus, who looks like he was in here earlier. Not sure if he's still here, but I'm sure he'll be here later. And I'm back. Great. Thanks, guys, for dealing with my lack of professionalism here. Yeah, I'm trying to get the zoom out. Here we go. Don't know what buttons I pushed. I think I was, yo ho ho, 3 bottles of crows. Hey, there you go. Luciana, welcome. Hope you are doing well too. I was saying, yeah, I was hoping everybody in the States had a good Thanksgiving, but then I walked that back a little bit and I said, I hope everybody in the world had a good Thanksgiving, whether you celebrated or not. Because it's worth it. It's, everybody deserves to have a good day every day. How about that? Well, it's not Avowed news. It's more to do with one particular person behind Avowed's creation being less than savory with his... Oh, that happens. Yeah, I try not to take an entire team's... I try not to form opinions on entire teams based on the... You know, the ravings of a single madman that might be on the team. I don't... The same thing happened with Cyberpunk 2077, and I think as a whole their hearts were in the right places and they just got, you know, it is the news cycle. I'm not going to put too much stock in the words of one person. I'll look it up later, but I really don't I don't want to put less than savory words posted all over my stream. All right, I do have not really news, but there's some new games that I wanted to talk about a little bit here. Some things got some previews in the gaming industry. It's not surprising there are a few degenerates in the yeah, absolutely. Yep, not gonna ruin my day. And excuse me. The Avowed team, the Obsidian team, they've had their I don't know. I don't think any ill will toward them. I've not really enjoyed their games as much as some others have, but I don't. Madmen, not manmen. Gotcha. Men. Manly men. Okay. Let's see. What was I going? Oh yeah. There are a couple of new games with some previews and stuff that I wanted to talk about a little bit or just share with you. And if there's any new games coming out or any gaming news that doesn't really go into the political Menly man, yes, indeed. Welcome, Jayak. Oh, Jayak's a friend from Scotland. I think I remember your name from the Laughing Simon Discord. If I'm not mistaken, could be another Jayak running around out there, and I would be none the wiser. Doubt it, though. Yarp, there you go. All right. Warframe has always been one of the best MMOs since... Yes, so this new game from the Warframe team called Soulframe, creative naming there. South Scotland, great. Awesome. I love Scotland, people. Love the Scots. They have a way with words. Been using the English language a lot longer than us Americans have, and it's got a certain crude charm to it. I can't hear enough of it. I don't know why. It's not exactly pleasing to the ear, but I can't get it. It's like eating something bitter. I'm messing with you. Had a guy call me a wimp for drinking a smoothie. I shrugged and got on with it. Yeah, absolutely. I love smoothies. I'm 6'4", 240 pounds. I used to fight people for fun like 3 times a week. Till I got over that. That just hurts too much now. And I used to drink smoothies all the time. Love bitter tasting food. There you go. You might love listening to Scotsmen speak for hours on end too. In that case, check out Laughing Simon. All right, so this one's called Warframe. It's free to play. And this team, let's see if I can remember the damn name of the team that does Soulframe. What is it? It's not Digital Extremes, is it? Yes, it is. It's Digital Extremes. And Warframe was known for being free to play, but being notoriously, almost infamously fair with their microtransactions and their monetization schemes. I played a good 40 hours of Warframe. I loved every second of it, and I never spent a single penny on the damn game. South of UK, I've been to Edinburgh. Okay, so you're not Scot at all. That's fine. Or maybe you are Scot. I don't know how the whole UK... the UK is England mixed with Scotland, right? And you're both kind of smashed in the same little corner of Europe. And you always all make fun of how each other speak. Am I getting about the long and short of it? Justice Surly, though. There you go. My kind of people. Yeah, so... I could never get into Warframe. I just never jived with the same way I do other games. Yeah, so this game wasn't received particularly well, Warframe anyway. It kind of had some blandness issues when it started, but then they started making updates to it. They started really pouring some time and effort into it, and as a live service game, that's kind of what your game lives and breathes on, right? Is how well you can support this game. And they did support it. They're still supporting Warframe. And it was around the time, I don't remember what update it was, but there was a huge update. That's one sexy, sweaty man rolling around on my screen there. How about that? Oh, I want to pet a huge dog's belly. It was around the time when they completely overhauled the movement system in Warframe, where I kind of got on and started really having fun with it. And just moving around the maps in that game was a lot of fun because of the dash canceling, the dash jumping, and how you could cancel from one movement into another, and you just sailing across entire maps. And it was really fun. And then the shooting mechanics, they worked well enough, but until they had the movement mechanics really sorted, is when the whole game really came alive. And then there's just progression systems everywhere. Every single weapon type has a progression meter that you want to try to max out so you get the most out of that weapon. And the grind was a lot of fun in that game. This one it looks like it's going to be Warframe in a fantasy environment, right? And the first trailer that came out of it did not look good, right? The animations were all mismatched, like the attack animations were completely like missing the enemies, and then the enemies were like going, and they were dying. But it looks like they've made already huge strides in terms of how this game looks, the look and feel of the combat. Fextra Life here. I posted the link to this. I do like Fextra Life a lot. He's kind of like no nonsense. He just gets into the meat and potatoes of what the game feels like, and doesn't really dilly-dally around like the the highbrow, this is what the story should be and everything like that. He's not a film school dropout trying to be a film critic in video games. He's just telling you about video games and how fun they are to play. He's liking this one. He says there's some issues with it, especially in the feel of combat. Like I said, though, it does look much improved from what they showed a few months ago in like a pre-alpha build. This one's looking like a lot of fun. It doesn't seem like the movement options are there like there are in Warframe, but I'm sure they'll get around to it. Like I said, the big thing with Digital Extremes in their games is the massive amount of support that they give for free, and their super more than fair monetization policies. So many people just want to give these people as much money as possible because they treat their fans so fairly. So I'm keeping my eye out on this one. Again, it's probably not going to release in the best state, but you can be assured that if any studio is going to support their game and make it better and better over time, it's Digital Extremes. They did it with Warframe, they'll do it again here. Just might take some time. Let's see. Catching up on chat. UK is England, Wales, and Scotland. Gotcha. Everybody forgets about Wales. You think the Scots have a charming way of speaking? Just try to listen to a Welsh person speak. It's a lot of fun. Zenless Zone Zero is kind of an abnormal game for me, but I love it. Excuse me. Okay, that was the gacha game, right? It was that. Who's that made by? Is it made by the same people as Genshin Impact? But it's the same type of game, right? Yeah, we talked about that. I don't know if it was last stream, but it might be the stream before. Nobody. It looked pretty cool. It had like a bunch of different characters. The action looked like a lot of fun. Is that free to play, or is that you buy your way in and then there's some... Nobody forgets about Wales. Absolutely. I actually... Welcome, Magus. Hope you're doing well. No problem. The vast majority of my family's ancestry comes from Wales. I had to do like a whole report on it back in grade school. Yeah, we talked about Zenless Zone Zero a couple weeks ago, I think, in one of my streams, and it looked like a lot of fun. I'm just not a huge fan of the whole gacha thing. For whatever reason, it's like Warframe is okay, but I didn't think that I would jive too much with it's the Hoyo verse thing. Zenless Zone Zero and the gacha games. What was it? I just mentioned it. Genshin Impact. I don't know. I might try them out. They're free to play, I believe. And I'm rambling. So let's move on to the next one. This other one's a free to play game, and this is another one that has been another team that, you know, it's a free to play game with microtransactions, but this team is notoriously very fair to its customers. Thousands and thousands of hours to be had without spending a single damn time, and high quality. And this is Path of Exile. Path of Exile 2 is coming out in, I think it actually already came out in early access. Or no, maybe, let's see here. Path of Exile 2 early access. So early access is buy-in. You have to buy one of the premium packs to get early access to it. December 6th. So that's just right around the corner. This is another one where, because the game is free to play and because they are so super more than fair with their monetization policies, the fans of the game will just spend ungodly amounts of money just because this company treats them right. And this is another one where people have spent thousands and thousands of hours in the game, playing, building their characters, having all kinds of fun without spending a single dime on the game. And it's, you know, the other people that want to support the studio that's keeping these guys afloat and thriving. This one is Grinding Gear Games, and like we've mentioned during some of the Diablo streams that I was playing, Path of Exile 2 was born of Diablo 2. I believe people who loved Diablo 2 and people who maybe even worked on Diablo 2 formed this new studio because they were tired of waiting for Diablo 3, and they made their own version of it, and they did a damn good job of it. This one's free to play, I believe, in January. You can download it, play with it. If you don't like it, uninstall it, never look at it again. But this is another one that gets constant, huge, free updates. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I've always been a Diablo guy. For as good as Path of Exile is, and for as much as people say that it is so much better than Diablo in a lot of ways, Diablo just feels better to play to me. It's fast, it's explosive, and it's easy to get into for, you know, casual ARPG guys like me. The ARPG blasters absolutely love this game because the end game is absolutely enormous. So these people, like Rax here, the dude with the blue hoodie, I did put that in there. These guys, they no life the game 24 hours straight, 48 hours straight sometimes. They reach the end game as fast as they can, and then they put their hands up and they're like, what, that was it? Because then they rush to the end game, and then all of a sudden the end game isn't what they expected. When Diablo is more tuned for the more casual, friendly audience, when, you know, they want to dick around with new builds, maybe play a season and play it for, you know, 100 hours, maybe a few 2 or 3 hours every other night or whatever, and then call it a day, because, you know, they have other things to do. Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile are about those people who don't have other things to do, and they can just grind that end game forever and ever and ever. And Grinding Gear Games, the studio behind this game, they're really, really good at giving you end game content and really stretching out a playthrough with a single character and having these builds have something to chase forever and ever. So the Diablo 4 blasters that like to complain that Diablo 4's endgame isn't up to snuff, they love this game just for that. Let's see here. It's entirely free to play, and it actually has a decent gacha system. Have several high-ranked characters, and you get tons of pulls as a free-to-play player, enough to get almost all characters. Okay, and you're talking about Triple Z, right? Yeah, a lot of people love it. It's immensely popular for a reason, right? I'm sure millions and millions of people play that without ever spending a dime on it. The one thing is, I'm not really into just the anime games. I play them every now and then. I kind of like the dark fantasy stuff or the dark sci-fi stuff a little bit better than the anime stuff, but I dip my toe in every once in a while, and it's free. I might drop in and see what that's all about. All right, so a couple of absolutely free things to play coming up in the next month or two. That's good. So let's move on to Skyrim mods. How about that? Better grabbing. Okay, keep it in your pants on this one, guys. It's not that kind of grabbing. This one was kind of cool, I thought. Let's take a look at this. So this is for, you know, the grab mechanic where you just hold on to the activate key and you pick something up in first person or third person. It works better in first person. This provides more control over that. This was always been better for people that play on mouse and keyboard than people with controllers. But this vastly improves it for both control types. This looks great. So you grab an item just the same way that you always do. And then you can rotate the item, which you were always able to do, I think, with mouse and keyboard, but you weren't always able to do it with the controller. Now you can. You can rotate. You can shift, translate, I guess is what they're calling it, on any axis, X, Y, or Z. And this makes placing items like in your player home or whatever a lot more intuitive, a lot more precise, a lot more accurate. Good stuff. Oh, you're playing ZZZ right now? That's awesome, dude. I don't mind people gaming while they're watching me. Follow your bliss, folks. Nerd, the king in yellow. There you go. Let's see. And yes, for the Yellow King, the former commander of... Gotcha. All right. So this one's fun. Posted a link to that in chat. This one's another one. It looks like a really well-made armor. It's not a a jiggly or revealing armor set, which, you know, there's an audience for that. No judgment if you look at that kind of stuff in your game, but this one, it looks like it actually belongs a little bit. I think that this one would be great. It's female only. This one would be great for like a female cleric or paladin, and maybe even like a Valkyrie type character with a spear would be cool. Very high quality. Looks like it's actually, you know, somewhat functional armor. The gap in the plate right here, right where the heart is, probably isn't ideal, but you know, it's tasteful. It looks great. This one's called the Callisto armor set, so I'll post that in there. You have that armor in your current setup? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, Aster. You're all about the paladin stuff, right? Yeah, looks great. If you have a character that would work well for, now you got it. It does require physics, the HCT, SMPT, or SMP stuff. So be ready for that. But nowadays, I think most people probably do have that. All right, and then the next one that I saw here was very interesting. I'm not sure. This one gives kind of like a little bit of a quest and everything, and it's that the Numidium was actually revived off the coast of Solitude, and I'm not sure how much meat, how much content is actually in here, but just seeing the Numidium off the coast, way off in the distance, I thought was really super cool. The Numidium, of course, is this giant, like, dwarven, quote-unquote, golem that it's more like a dwarven automata, I would say, but just the sheer amount of power it would take to operate something like this, it just makes you kind of wonder how this thing was powered. And of course, Talos harnessed the power of the Numidium to help him conquer Tamriel, right? Just basically a giant, extremely giant dwarven mech. Very cool. Again, I have no idea what kind of content. There is a quest. I don't know if you actually get to fight the Numidium or if it does anything, but just kind of exists off the coast. But I just thought that was kind of cool vibes seeing that thing out there, and just like the sheer scale of everything. Oh, okay. Haster has opinions. All right. Watch someone playing this. Don't touch it. It's a fanfic mod and it's terrible. Lots of trolling and jokes about some crucial TES. Okay. Well, all right. I'll let you make your own opinions on it. I'm like obligated to post the link to it because I am actually talking about it, and I don't want, like, to not cite my sources if you want to check it out yourself. It is Unlore. Okay, I gotcha. Well, I was just doing it for the vibes. I thought it looked really cool. Sounds like the content is not keeping up with the vibes. Cool idea, though. All right, let me catch up on chat here. Light armor, full body cover, HDS. Now you're speaking my language. There you go. Yeah. That's like the one thing. It's like, a lot of the overhauls in terms of like graphics, and there's, character NPC overhauls, there are city overhauls and everything. I'm not really into that. I like the gameplay overhaul stuff, but give me a good armor and weapon set any day, and I'll find a way to build a character off of it. There will always be a market for that stuff. Stiggy Shreds, welcome, buddy. Also messing with Skyrim mods right now. Awesome. There you go. Some new ones to take a look at for you. The Coda has spoken. It literally needs a fragment of God to power it. Yeah. I saw a fan theory floating around that I don't know that the timelines really match up, but the whole disappearance of the dwarves, they use their collective kind of like spiritual energy to power the thing. And again, that's I didn't really dive too deeply into it, but I thought it was at least a cool kind of shred of an idea. You smell like rose hips and argan oil? Feels good. Nice. Probably smell better than I do. Actually, I smell pretty good right now too. I just kind of put some conditioner in my beard, get it to lay down a little bit, and it kind of has like a coconut oil vibe to it. Yeah, I'm smelling good. Looking good, smelling good. Gotta love a fresh beard. All right. I'm surprised the community shaders hasn't been updated in a while. I thought for sure there'd be an update since last time I played. Yeah, has it been a while? I've kind of just been... E and B always worked for me, so I haven't remodded my Skyrim since community shaders came out, but a lot of people swear by community shaders. I just haven't had a reason to update yet, and I didn't want to have to redo all my weather and E and B patches and everything. Didn't notice updates for the add-ons either. I'm running them all right now in my Skyrim, and it's way nicer than E and B. I love E and B, so okay, that's good. I knew there were some pros and cons about community shaders. I know it's better on performance, isn't it? And I heard that it may not be a complete one-for-one, but most of the features from E and B were at least possible in community shaders. That's another one I don't really know. Yeah, almost no performance hit whatsoever. That's awesome. Maybe next time I remod from scratch, I'll use community shaders. The dwarves disappeared during the closing years of the second era, and Talos recovered the Numidium during the third era. So there might be some latent dwarven energy in there. How did Talos, or how did well, I guess it wouldn't be Talos at that point. He would be Tiber Septim, right? How did he power the Numidium? Did he made a deal with like the Daedra, didn't he? You literally can't tell what I'm running. People keep asking what EFB I've got, and I keep telling them I'm not using one. They're confused afterwards. Yeah, no, community shaders was good. It must have been supported since then because it really wasn't keeping up with E&B for a bit, but sounds like they've caught up. Took me 13 crashes and 22 deaths and putting my settings on novice with Wildcat installed to kill a mythical black dragon. Dang, that sounds tough, man. I do get performance hit with community shaders. It takes about 15-20% of my FPS down if I have all add-ons enabled with parallax and all that. Interesting. But still, that's better than, well, depending on what your FPS is. I think you get a good 30 to 40 FPS hit right off the top without it being a percentage. It's just a straight FPS hit from E&B, just having the DirectX hooks. It's expensive. His court mage sacrificed himself to change the Mantella, a custom crafted, so to speak, soul gem. I see, okay. Worst performance hits for Skyrim, E&B itself. Yeah, without even an E&B, what do you call it? E&B configuration running on it. Just E&B itself, just the binaries. Yep, the binaries itself, yep. I noticed that last time I redid Skyrim. Actually, it probably was 2 or 3 times ago. I just installed E&B and I was checking FPS like every single step of the way, and just installing the E&B binaries, I got like a massive hit to my FPS. Which you really probably don't notice if you're capped at 60 and you're running on current machinery, but I had it uncapped for the first time, and I was really curious to see which mods were affecting FPS in certain ways. And yeah, at that point, I was shocked to see that just the E&B binaries without any kind of E&B configuration or using any effects at all was hitting more than anything. Okay, so that was Oda. All right, and the community spotlight. So I am gonna link you all to the Wind right now, and the Wind has been a friend of the channel for quite a long time. She doesn't play Skyrim quite as much anymore. She's kind of got a love-hate relationship, mostly on the hate side with modding right now, and I don't blame her. Shit's aggravating as hell in the best of times. When you know what you're doing, it can be confusing and cause trouble. But when you need some help and you can't provide it yourself, it can be even more. It induces stress into areas of your life that are meant to de-stress you. So I get that. She has been playing a little bit of Fallout Tale of Two Wastelands, which she really enjoyed. And lately she's been on these sort of horror-themed multiplayer games. I don't play these games myself, but I love the Wind, and I always smile, I always laugh every time I join one of her streams. So Did I linked to her already? Yeah. Love the Wind. She's been, like I said, she's been a friend of many of us for a very long time. Wonderful lady. Leaving her a follow and dropping in on a stream and just saying hi and asking how she's doing would make all the difference in the world to her and to many of us. So yeah, can't recommend her enough, really. And even though I don't play these games, it's still really fun to watch her play. She just has like all the jump scares. She has so much fun with it, and she's such a sweet person that it's infectious. You're gonna smile, you're gonna laugh, you can't help it. Every single time I join, I have a good time. Stress and modding? Lies, yeah. Yeah, you probably don't feel the stress anymore. Doesn't mean it's not there. I think you've just gotten used to it. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's play some Skyrim, huh? God damn it. Oh, what I've been playing lately. Okay, so yeah, I've been playing some Enshrouded. Some folks in the community kind of twisted my arm a little bit. I started playing it. I played it for about 2.5 hours. I don't know if it's my type of game. I'll probably play it for a few more hours just to see if it picks up. I think the building in it is just a little bit tedious, placing one block at a time, and some of the progressions in the game kind of force you to do the building. A lot of action. The action's not bad. Not quite as engaging as something more tuned for combat. The game's really more about like the survival aspects of things, and I think it's highly tuned, so that you can get in, you can change the settings if you don't want to do the survival stuff, if you don't want to do the building stuff, you don't have to. But yeah, I'm gonna play it for a little bit. It's in early access right now. The quality is there. It's a good game. Technically, it works great. It's I haven't had any like stutter or FPS issues that come with a bunch of AAA games. Looks decent, but yeah, building. Yeah, I was kind of iffy on it. I've been watching some people play it, and they seem to be really enjoying it. And it's a cheaper game. It's around $20. I think it's on sale right now. So I figured, what the heck? Not the worst thing I've ever spent $20 on. Wink, wink. I've also been playing Black Myth Wukong. This one won the Golden Joystick Award for Best Game, which is it's more gamer driven than it is press driven, like the Game Awards are. There weren't really any mixed reviews on this game. Everybody pretty much universally liked it. The combat mechanics, they work really well. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Wrong pipe. Wrong hole, stupid. All right. The combat, it works really well. There is a lot of stutter in it, unfortunately. The frame timing is all over the place. Traversal stutter all over the place. It's an Unreal Engine 5 game. And I don't remember. Oh no, there was a really long shader compilation step in the very beginning of the game. So that's what she said. There you go. Oh, I just dumped that monster right down my windpipe. That was nasty. One block at a time, so it's like Minecraft. Yeah, it's a lot like Minecraft. Excuse me while I die. Yeah, and I could never really get into Minecraft. Like Minecraft, I can see how people like it. I get it. I need more engaging combat in a game. That's also what she said. There you go. Man. Giving you guys no end of material, am I? So I'm really enjoying it. It's undeniably, objectively a fantastic game. It does have problems. The combat system isn't as deep or as engaging as something like Devil May Cry or like a Dark Souls game. It's not a Souls-like. It's more like Devil May Cry than Souls. It's very action-oriented. It's very light in the way of progression and RPG mechanics. But it's fun to play. It's very timing based. It's a dodge instead of a parry mechanic, like Sekiro does. It's more just dodge everything and then go in with your attacks. Pretty fun combo system in there. It's, you have a regular attack and a power attack, and as you unlock more stances and moves, you get to get crazier with your combos. But I think Devil May Cry does it better, in my opinion. I've played about 2.5 hours of this. I've beaten a couple bosses. Very tough, very challenging, good game. I don't know that it's Game of the Year material. I liked the Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga better. I thought it was more engaging in terms of storytelling. The combat system's more watered down in that game, but that's really not what that game is about. The combat system works great in that game. The graphics in Hellblade were absolutely second to none. I don't remember seeing a single stutter, maybe a little bit of traversal stutter as you load into a new area, but that's to be expected. Whatever. That's still my Game of the Year so far. And there are some big ones that I still haven't played yet. Dragon Age I still want to play. I know that's a contentious one, but that still looks good to me. What else are big ones that came out? Dragon's Dogma 2 didn't hit for me. I really wanted to like that game more than I did. There's some other really big ones that came out. I'm just completely blanking on it. Oh, Space Marine is on sale. I might grab that and start playing it. And then I've attacked a lot of backlog games this year too. Wolfenstein Youngblood got terrible reviews. A lot of people were saying that this is one of the first ones that came out with ray tracing enabled. And a lot of reviewers were saying that this one looks great. It's got a good DLSS implementation and the ray tracing worked good. The performance worked good and everything. But they just didn't like the characters. They didn't like the story. It felt like kind of watered down or whatever. I'm playing it. I'm having a fantastic time with it. Yeah, the characters, they're very young. They're kind of annoying. They have that youthful, chaotic energy. I don't mind it so much. Yeah, if you're looking for that, you know, manly man, BJ Blazkowicz going through killing Nazis and all that, you're not going to get so much of it here. It's kind of like a younger, softer approach to it, but you are still killing a lot of Nazis in very graphic ways. The story is quite watered down. I do like BJ Blazkowicz better than I like his daughters, but the gameplay is great. The shooting mechanics work great. The graphics look really good. The DLSS implementation, it uses like the first 1.0 implementation of DLSS, so you get more ghosting than you would. You can just drop in the new DLSS binaries and you get a nice uptick in visuals there. But yeah, I'm capped at 165 frames per second, which is what my monitor is at, and full ray tracing works great, plays great, no stuttering. I'm having a good time with it. So that leads me to even further ignore reviews, both player reviews and media reviews. And if a game looks good to me, I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale, and I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm probably gonna like it. So it's just a shiny turd. Well, it's a shiny turd that's fun to play. It's cheap as hell. I think I got this for like $6 or something. That's what people were saying. It was a shiny turd, but I don't know. I feel like I'm getting real annoyed with these. I call them film school dropouts that try to treat every video game like a highbrow story experience. And video games offer all kinds of different experiences. They don't always have to have like the, sad dad narrative of God of War or The Last of Us. They don't have to be on that same level of narrative. Those are great for the narrative. I enjoy those games to hell and back. But sometimes the gameplay experience is about the gameplay. It's about the shooting. It's about the, glorification of wanton violence. I love it. You mean YouTube reviewers? I mean all reviewers. YouTube reviewers do it. They like to publish these thought pieces and try to take on these arcade style games and compare them to pieces of narrative art, and they're just not that, but they don't have to be that. YouTube reviewers, media reviewers, but on the other side, user reviews on Steam and what's the other one? Metacritic. They're just as bad. They're just like, but on the other side. They're one-word reviews, and they often hate the game for things that have nothing to do with the game itself. And it's just all reviews are complete wastes of time anymore. And I'm opting out. Don't listen to those people. They're probably not good at gaming. Probably, yeah. I don't necessarily think that being good at a game is a prerequisite for. Oh, wow. Got a speech impediment all of a sudden. Prerequisite for being able to make a qualitative assessment of it, but Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying. I play video games because I like video games, and there's so much video game hate out there right now that I'm kind of opting out of it. I'm just gonna play what looks good, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And like I said, you can play new games if you wait 6 months. If you wait 9 months, it's gonna go on sale for cheaper than what it released at, for a price that's more worth what the game that you're purchasing for. And the game's going to be fixed, it's going to be patched, it's going to be the best version of the game. So just wait a few months, buy it on sale, play it if it looks good, don't listen to people. I've also been playing another one off my backlog, Need for Speed. I wanted an arcade racing thing, and this is interesting because it's an open world experience, kind of like Skyrim, but you're in a car the whole time. Lots of new cars to unlock, and then there's like these arcadey elements to it, like you have tire strips that you can drop, like kind of like a Mario Kart thing. It's pretty good. And then you have like this EMP blast on your front bumper when you ram someone. You get to like do like a shock blast. It really scratched the itch that I had for arcade racing, just if you want to zone out and go fast and have big crashes and stuff. I really like this one. And again, I got this one on sale for like $6 at some point. This one did require some manual hacking of like an INI file to unlock 60 frames per second and higher level visuals, because it is an EA game, and EA sucks at PC ports. They just put them out there in whatever state they were on PS3 or wherever they released on. Really don't ever harness the full power of the PC, and even in their more modern releases, they're terrible. But one quick look up on Google of how to unlock 60 frames per second and higher level visuals in this game, and it looks and runs great now. And then Dead Cells is a roguelite 2D platformer with random elements. Plays fast. It's not as hard as other roguelite games. Pixel graphics, if you yearn for the 16-bit days. Dead Cell gives you pretty much endless replayability because a lot of it's modern, or a lot of it's random. So that's part of like the roguelite genre, is random generated levels, and it's all permadeath. So you die, you go all the way back to the start, but you get to keep certain things that you've progressed, like weapon levels and certain currencies and stuff, that you can start out the next run a little stronger than you did the previous run. And then you just get as far as you can until you die. You start all the way over, and eventually you have a strong enough character and you have enough command over the game to make it all the way through in one run, and then you beat the game. But then there's also like more things to unlock, more weapons to learn and everything like that. So kind of like Hades, but 2D side-scroll platformer. Good stuff. Modern Need for Speed, don't like it. Rather play Underground 2, Undercover, Carbon. Those were the days. Yeah, I love a good old school arcade racer. Need for Speed hasn't always been the best, though. They've always kind of, at least like the original Need for Speed on the PlayStation 1, they really favored graphics fidelity over frame rate, so the game played like utter trash, but people loved it because it looked good, and nobody had seen anything like that. If you're coming from, what was the hovercraft racing game on SNES, like the FX series? Was that FX? Why am I blanking on it? It's like the pseudo 3D stuff. Anyway. Hey, Mr. P. Miller. I'm doing great today. How are you? Let me catch up on... My favorite music genre is basically Need for Speed. Oh, you like the techno stuff, huh? Good music in there. And the Need for Speed stuff, at least when they're performing well, and arcade racing in general, is... it's easy access flow state to me. F-Zero, not FX. F-Zero, that's the one I'm thinking. Thank you, Jayak. Yeah, arcade racing games in general, especially the Need for Speed stuff with their soundtrack and everything, it really is easy access to flow state, where it's like everything in your body like relaxes. You're not paying attention to anything but what's on the screen. It's just like super fast. You have to, make your turns super easy because of how fast you're going. Something about the motion blur and the lights that are zooming past you kind of almost puts you in this hypnotic state. And then if you get like this, the right soundtrack with it, that's kind of going along with like the the glowing lights on the screen and everything, you get into this super concentrated, focused mode of just trying to dodge cars and hit your turns just right. And yeah, if you haven't looked into flow state gaming, a lot of arcade games and video games in general are good for that flow state. It's almost like a meditative state where nothing else like exists except for the video game. You can feel your face go like completely limp, and you're just completely relaxed in every other sense except your brain is completely focused on this one thing. And that's when you get like your personal best world record runs and everything. And old school arcade games were really good at getting you into that state. By today's standards, though, buying games today compared to inflation, it's much cheaper. It's way cheaper. I was actually looking. I'm on some retro gaming subreddits on Reddit, and they like to post like these gaming catalogs and like Sunday ads from like Toys R Us and stuff like that. And the gaming systems themselves were, fairly reasonably priced. After launch, $200, $300. By today's standard with inflation, that is kind of about where a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X would be. But you're going to pay a little bit more for a gaming PC. But the games were the same price. They were $60. Some of them were 70, some of them were 80. Cartridges were more expensive than CDs, but new games were 60, 70 bucks. It wasn't until much later where everybody moved on from cartridges and they moved on to the optical media, where things came down to $50, and then they recently went back up. But with inflation, games are much, much cheaper than they used to be. Absolutely. Karn has his DLC out of order in the left pane? What the hell? Do I? Was there an order to these? Was it supposed to go Dawnguard, Hearthfire's Dragonborn? I don't know. I've always had it like this, and it's never caused a single issue. I don't know why it just... Yeah, no, it's in the right... It's right order on the left, or on the right pane. Yeah, all right. I don't even... Can I move these? I'm not going to do it live. Absolutely not. I'm playing the game right now. I'm not changing it now. Sorry. Magus is triggered. You can while you're playing? I don't know. I haven't had an issue. I've done all the Hearthfire stuff. I've done all the Dawnguard stuff. I've done all the Dragonborn stuff. I've never had a single issue. I've been playing with this for years. Thousands of hours. It's been fine. Maybe I'll tinker around with it. I mean, not while playing, but when you aren't in the game. I got it. You always put them at the bottom? There you go. That's the right answer. Hate it when load order isn't chronological order. There you go. I trust you. I'll tinker with it later. Probably very, very low impact. Oh, this is one of those endless ore veins, right? I always do a quick save before I do these anymore, because every once in a while they can become completely unresponsive, and then trying to reload a save after just don't work. Whatever. I don't need the gold anymore anyway. All right, so we're back with the warrior here, and let's see. He is donning his wolf armor now, because we are now in the companion stage of his journey. And I've already done the main quest line and everything, so he's out of his dragon phase. Now he's doing his companion's phase to learn a little bit more about martial prowess, see what the premier fighting faction of the province of Skyrim has to offer an Imperial like him. And they've welcomed him with open arms, and he's proven himself time and time again. Right now, he is working with Aela to avenge the death of Skjor, and learning lots about the Nord way of battle along the way, which is going to help him in his fight against the Stormcloaks later on. I prefer alphabetical, makes it easier to find things. There you go. Trigger warning for Magus here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, it definitely has not been broken for me. Buys Joe Roofie Colada. Nice. I'm a plebe. I just let Vortex handle. Ooh, you said the real trigger for Magus. The V word. And I'm not talking about vagina. Okay, let's see here. I'm not sure if I prayed yet. Let's go ahead and pray. I hear a bear around here somewhere, so I'm probably not going to be able to pray anyway. I have not prayed yet this morning. Let's see. We just cleared out halted stream camp. Halted stream or halted steam? I always overcorrect. Halted stream camp for a bounty. I am also working through trying to find all the word walls to get all the shouts still. There are going to be some dragons here that are going to have some very valuable souls because there are a lot of word walls in the game which require a lot of dragon deaths in order to unlock. And then while we're in the area, I'm going to do the no contest quests for the fishing quest line. There are some rings that I want to get from fishing, and there are some rings that you can get randomly while fishing, and there are others that always appear. This one has the Warlock ring, which gives you a ward spell when you block with any weapon or shield. So that's pretty good. It will allow me to not have to use Spellbreaker for everything all the time, and I can put a different enchantment on a different shield at some point. More options. Let's see. Can I wait? I can wait. I hear a bear just going crazy out there in the wilderness somewhere. I just want to get some better lighting here. There we go. That looks better. Don't need that anymore. And he's grumbling at me, so he's either hungry or thirsty. Glad I'm not coughing anymore. Man, that was crazy, right? You know what? Next time I go back into Skyrim, I'll install mods manually. There you go. Oh, Magus would rather do that manually. Oh, man. I should have brought some popcorn. This is fun. Hey, the wind! Speak of the devil. Hope you don't mind. I gave you a community shout out this week, Wind. I said all kinds of nice things about you, too. Hope you don't mind that. Alright, we're getting into the thick of it now. On this sword, on the Skyforge steel sword, I have the, oh, it's called just the death enchantment on it? I don't remember what exactly it's called, but when you get the enemy down to a certain percentage of health, this is at 9%, which works great against giants, mammoths, and dragons. Not so much against lower level enemies, you're just going to kill them outright. It just outright kills the enemy. I have a Daedric arrow with a drain armor effect on it. A Daedric arrow, a bow with a drain armor effect on it. And I have the Orcish arrows of force. Ah! Excellent arrows. I have a huge armor rating. I have a lot of damage on my block bashes. I have shield charges. We are the complete package warrior. Where'd he go? Get him, Lydia. Okay, and then Lydia, I have enchanted and smithed up her gear. So she is a total badass, and on her sword, I gave her the Drain Armor enchantment. So every time she hits an enemy, I do more damage to them. So that's what's going on with a lot of this stuff. With the greatsword, I have a paralysis effect, and what this does is it allows me to sort of chain combo from the long range of the bow, which weakens their armor, and I then switch to the Orcish arrows of force, which launches them into the air, gives me the opportunity to switch to the greatsword, and I run in with that. I start hacking away with massacre and enter the arena, which makes the attack speed go real fast, so he's just chop, 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 chop on those. And there is a small percentage chance that he's going to trigger his currently selected power, which I should actually move to Star of the West. Oh shit, what am I missing with 6 now? Just jacked up my hotkeys. Skyforged Steel, those are still good. How about the Daedric Bow? Yes, that's good. Force. Ultimate Healing. What did I miss on this one? Oh, I bet it was Dragon Bone Arrows. Here we go. Boom, there we go. So then I can, yeah, switch to the Orcish Force Arrows, which pops them up in the air, allowing me to switch to the Greatsword. I run in, start hacking away with that. I get a pretty good percentage chance with, you know, just the attack speed there to proc Star of the West, which gives me a refill of stamina, magicka, and health, and buffs that attribute by the amount that it was refreshed. So that's all good. But it really aids to the survivability when you're using the two-handed weapon. So that kind of makes up for the lack of defense that you get for not having a shield. And then the paralysis effect on that allows me to switch to the sword and board mode with Spellbreaker, which then allows me to do some... Ooh, we got a wolf over here. Some crowd control in terms of knocking enemies down with the shield charge, and that also allows me to gain some positional advantage if I am being attacked from afar by a mage or an archer, or I'm surrounded by melee combatants. I can put the shield up, which still does count as a block, and Spellbreaker will block spells as well. And with the sprint, I cover the distance really quickly. I knock down melee attackers on the way. It allows me to get out of being surrounded, out of a corner or whatever, and re-establish positional supremacy. So that's kind of like the play style. That's a kind of the build in a nutshell for the warrior here. I put a lot of time and effort and thought into this, and I think it's coming out really well. It's been really fun and engaging, which is... you know, kind of the challenge with some of these basic classes is to find a play style that that is fun and interesting after thousands and thousands of hours in this game.
Oh well.
Okay. I'm playing a pure restoration build. Effectively bum rushed my way through false life and sun damage. Had to set deadly dragons to insane levels to have a challenge. That's crazy. Restoration, especially in an Irem, is super powerful. You really don't need anything else, really. Maybe some crafting and enchanting for defense and boosting offense. Fortify restoration potions will boost your restoration skills even more. Hey, you too, P. Miller. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Take care. Been playing with bone arrows from Scrimshaw, which have proven to be a lot better arrow than I expected. 17 points of damage, really good option. Yeah, I think the bone arrows also have bleed damage on them, if I remember correctly. At least the higher level bone arrows from Hunterborn. Really good stuff. Restoration is a valid form of magic, indeed. The wind knows. I feel like I missed this peak. I totally did. I need to go a little farther. What's this, though? Shrine to Mara, huh? Well, we're not really super into the 9. Ooh. Health regen increase. That means I am detected by an enemy. Something coming at me from somewhere. Oh, is that Dragon's Reach all the way out there? It is. Looking cool. Dindalod for the win. What is trying to kill me? Look, Mr. Donut Head Man, who's trying to kill you? Well, I don't know, but they better not. Anybody who can name the movie gets brownie points from a 90s kid. Haster agrees. Haster's the paladin. He's all about the restoration magic and the smiting. Wayne's World, there you go, Jayak got it. Boom shakalaka. Another 90s kid thing. And Wayne's World was awesome. That's one of those that didn't go downhill with the sequel either. It might be kind of sad and kind of funny at the same time to see Dana Carvey and Michael Myers doing that now. New Wayne's World movie. They're all like retired and old and fat and slow. May I post a link? Yeah, as long as it doesn't violate the community guidelines. Use your better discretion. Go ahead and post a link. I believe you're right. The only thing I've found with them is that they have a lot more sync to them. So long range shots require a lot more adjustment. Yeah, so I go into Xedit and I change the values on all my arrows to match. I make them faster, less prone to gravity, and less of an arch on them. So they kind of more intuitively are able to aim them. And I just give every arrow from every mod the same treatment. So if you're running like something like arrow and bolt tweaks, which is a great mod and makes archery a lot more, I don't know, intuitive, I guess.
I've never been more ready.
So usually in the vanilla game, the arrow's going to come somewhere from your knees and it's going to have like a pretty severe arch when it comes out, and then it's going to drop off pretty well, and then it's going to slowly, and then it's going to drop. With my settings, the arrow goes really straight, right? It comes out from higher up above and goes pretty much where the reticle is pointing. And there is gravity to it, so at long distances, you're gonna have to aim a little higher. You can see it fall off a little bit. It seems I have shot bows before, even weaker non-compound bows. The arrows come out really quickly, and they don't fall off nearly as much. So just with that experience, and just. I did appreciate the nuance of the angles and the gravity in the vanilla game, and there is a certain amount of skill and practice that it takes to become proficient with the way that it is out of the box. And some people have made some really cool kind of like frag videos and trick shot videos with the vanilla arc. I just find it a lot more fun with the way that I'm having it. I'm all about the Eldritch Tentacle spells at the moment. Oh, you're going Lovecraftian, huh? I like it. Dumb and Dumber is a good movie. The sequel, though. Dumb and Dumberer? Yeah, not as good, huh? We're talking Ace Ventura movies, though. Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey movies. The Ace Ventura movies, the sequels hold up pretty well, I think. Speaking of paladins... Oh, let me see it. What do we got? Ooh, ultra wide. Lore Rim, how to paladin. Yeah, I actually uninstalled Lore Rim. it was taking up a huge amount of space on my drive, and I just wasn't enjoying it as much as my own. But the visuals that you get out of this thing, and some of the gameplay is just incredible. Oh, there's that kit. I've seen Haster post this in this set in a few different discords. He recommended it to me actually as well, and yeah, it looks great. Some action shots, look at that. And that was I think that was one of Kitty Tail's summoned holy magic spells with the giant glowing mace. Paladin. Oh, I'm not getting any sound on this.
So before we begin our journey, what exactly is a paladin?
Okay. I'm not going to sit here and watch the whole 30-minute thing, but it seems like a really cool video. I'm going to watch it later, though. Let's do that. I'm going to go beep, save, watch later. Yes, I'm going to watch that. Sounds like a cool build video for Lore Room. Might give me some ideas for my own paladin builds, huh? You're not a big fan of Jim Carrey stuff, Joe? Man, we used to be friends. No, I get that, actually. I do like Jim Carrey's stuff. I tend not to like Will Ferrell's stuff, for whatever reason.
Only a fool
Punch these wolves in the face. Let's check the difficulty here, shall we? All the way down in Wildcat. Yeah, allow Wildcat to manage difficulty. We are on Legendary, doing 0.25 damage and 4.75 damage inward. Okay, so it's just my sheer amount of stamina pools with the Skull Rattler perk that lets the damage of your block bashes scale with the amount of stamina that you have. And of course, the bow bash takes every perk from your block bashing perk trees. So that's why I'm killing stuff outright with the bow bash. Only really like the Truman Show. Yeah, that one has some layers to it. That's less of kind of a slapstick comedy and more of like a weird, like, borderline sci-fi thriller, I would say. It's the most interesting. And then you can really go into the thriller non-comedy with the number 23, which was just kind of silly. Weirdly enough, it might not be his least funny movie, even though it was supposed to be. Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, Boone. Yes, indeed. How you doing, Boone? Hope you're having a good weekend. Jim and Will have the same problem as a lot of actors. They have a tendency to play the same character, so if that character doesn't resonate, then you're probably not going to be a fan overall, right? Liked The Mask and Kuar Kuar? I don't know what Kuar Kuar is. Educate us, please. Liar, liar. Okay. Keyboard fail. I get it. I was like, ooh, this sounds like an interesting exotic movie that I have never heard of. Tell me more. Okay, that's Labyrinthian, and then up here we have the word wall. There should be a dragon up there too. All right, so I am still running Shadow of Skyrim with highly elevated difficulty settings with Wildcat. I have not had too much trouble with dragons, especially with Spellbreaker here, and now I also have Dragon Rend. In fact, I'm gonna switch my shout hotkey over to Dragon Rend. Take this nice and easy. I'm gonna do a quick save here just in case we have like an invisible dragon issue, which does tend to happen. Adam Sandler mentioned, now I have to go recommend Click, the other borderline sci-fi movie that has some interest to it. Adam Sandler has some stuff that's not classic Adam Sandler that is it can be good. Uncut Gems was good, but that was not slapstick comedy at all. The problem is, yeah, with Jim Carrey and Will Ferrell, they've been so typecast that you expect a certain thing from them, and then when they play something else, it's like, it's weird. Yep, I see the dragon wings, so we are not having an invisible dragon issue. Let's go with Spider Venom. This is most likely a fire dragon. If not, we can switch over to regular poison. Let's go goose up the armor rating. Really, well, we're gonna need the block. Berserker, sure, why not? We'll do resist fire, resist cold. Fortify one-handed, regenerate stamina. Let's get this party started. God, he really took off. Okay. Playing this defensively, lots of critical strikes. Dragon Rend. Switch to the two-hander. Gonna do a pendulum strike. Put him in the blender. Ooh, got me with a wing strike. That hurt. Okay, switch to the shield for more defense. Good amount of health regen here. That's probably the Imperial Virtues. Racial passive kicking in there. Okay, that was an Ancient Dragon. Not too bad.
Are you Dragonborn?
Now, I've shown you the...
What's on your mind?
I am Dragonborn, Lydia. You knew this. You've seen me do this before. Now, you've seen the difficulty settings on here. You saw that with one wing strike, that dragon took 50% of my health. The rest of... So the difficulty's there. This is not easy. Now, with, like, somebody else was mentioning the, I don't know, diverse dragons or... immersive dragons or something. Anyway, one of the dragon overhauls that the fights were insane. They're not as spongy as that, right? But they are very, very much dangerous. One hit did 50% damage. The rest were just, you know, tactics and playstyle, which is the test of a good build, right? Alrighty, gonna lurk a bit. Okay, Panicked Monk, enjoy your lurk. Thanks for dropping in, hanging out. They both seem to try it. Yeah, the overacting of the physical humor. Again, just like video games, not everything has to be a narrative masterpiece, right? There's a time and place for all that stuff. It's just, there are so many of those movies and they do the same thing every time. Oh, Panic Monk, you should have said alrighty then. Going to lurk a bit. Tom Cruise was typecast as the action hero, but he's in a point in his career where he can pick up a villain role and nobody bats an eye. Yep. And he was able to make like uncredited cameo appearances in things like Tropic Thunder. Actually, Tom Cruise has been in some great movies. Usually picks good ones to be in. Don't know if I'm a fan of the person. Probably not. That Scientology stuff gets a little wacky. But his movies that he's in are great. I almost always enjoy them. Wish my Argonian could slay dragons. Yeah, no, I don't think that's ever going to happen with the Argonian Poon. Good luck with that. Okay, what word was this one? Frost Breath, nice. So I recently found out, I think it was on my Melee guide, my Melee video guide. Somebody commented on there that Frost Breath augmented with Paarthurnax's meditation, or no, not Paarthurnax's meditation. It was augmented with the Black Book for Frost Breath. I don't remember exactly which Black Book it was, but it gives you the choice between the Frost Breath, the Fire Breath, and the Unrelenting Force shout to augment. If you do it with Frost Breath, you get the same effect as the Ice Form shout, but much, much reduced cooldown on it. So that is interesting. Might make use of that with this character. We'll see. The dragon overhaul I'm using makes dragons very spongy, deal tons of damage, and is very varied. Yep, I think Magus uses the same one. The dragon fights are actually epic. Lots of deaths and everything. I'm trying to tune this more toward like a permadeath difficulty. To where the stakes of battle are really high, but the enemies aren't super spongy. I've already reduced my damage output as far as the game will allow it. But with like a level 50 build that I have going on right now, the damage output is scaling really nicely for me. All right, let's head through Labyrinthian. Get to Morthal. We'll do the fishing quest, no contest. We'll get the Warlock ring, or the Ring of the Warlock. Might be useful with this build. Hey, there's James. Welcome, James. Don't know if I said hi on your way in, but glad to have you join us as always.
Is someone there?
Wish I had some fire damage for the troll here. Not gonna really need it. Frost trolls are pretty weak at this stage in the game, in the build. Mythical Black Dragon is the highest tiered dragon in the mod. What mod is that you're using? I've used things like immersive dragons before, and diverse dragons I think was the other one. But I don't think I've ever encountered. I haven't used them for like hundreds of hours of playthrough, so I don't know that I've ever seen the super high tier ones, except maybe in a Magus stream or something. Oh, we got a blizzard incoming. With the Triumvirate Cleric, the weather is not an issue anymore, which is nice. Actually, the visibility right now isn't too bad. Oh. Kine would like us to take care of this troll, and we shall oblige her.
I am sorry, but you left me no choice.
Kine is pleased with our actions, not pleased enough to give us a dragon soul, but whatever. How's my encumbrance doing? Pretty good. Deadly Dragons is the one I was thinking of. Okay. Deadly Dragons. Immersive Dragons is old school, but that also made dragons a lot harder too. Or maybe I'm remembering Immersive Dragons, but thinking Deadly Dragons. It's called Epic Dragon Combat and many new dragons. Awesome. Sounds like more options for the dragon overhauls. Visibility is not too bad right now. We're not able to see too far in the distance, but at least right in front of us it's fine, so I don't feel the need to cheat with a scroll of control weather yet anyway. Let's just get to Morthal. Okay, now things are getting silly.
I've never been more ready.
Never been more ready. That's what she said. The weather mod has terrible snow. Looks like bad TV. Yeah, it is more realistic. It looks good, I think. It's very immersive, but it's terrible for trying to do a Let's Play. If you're trying to record footage or actually, like, you know, show people what you're trying to do, it's awful. So yeah, I removed it. Going forward in my newer profiles, my new modding profiles. Even making, like, pre-recorded videos and stuff, it had become a pain in the ass. Oh. Thalmor. You can mess with that thing yourselves. I'm not giving you any help. That snow was wild. It definitely was. No, I like it. And it gives you a little bit more of a survival experience, too. If you're into survival stuff, which... I like light survival mechanics, but I don't like the hardcore survival stuff. I do run I need because mostly just because making sure to eat and drink once or twice a day kind of attaches me to the time scale of the world a little bit better. It helps me get into the world a little easier. But with things like Frostfall, it's just a little too restrictive. I really just want to get in and start fighting stuff. That's kind of the combat in this game is kind of in doing the build of the character and stuff, and then it's gameplay first, roleplay second, and then, you know, graphics and everything else third. And the hardcore survival stuff from like Frostfall just kind of takes me out of that gameplay loop that I enjoy most. Okay, we're switching to Spellbreaker and the one-handed sword for this because we're gonna get ambushed by some very high level, very tough mages. Oh, wait a minute. No, we're supposed to meet the dude at the boat over here on the docks of Morthal. Let's go do that. And then he takes us over to where we get ambushed outside of the city. Frostfall is a heavy survival mod. I'd stick to I need and camp, but that's exactly what I do. I need and campfire. I need and campfire kind of enable some things that weren't there before, whereas Frostfall is more restrictive. It's less enabling of what you want to do and more, it kind of says, okay, you have to do these things or you can't go here unless you do this. And that just is, it's frustrating for me. Yeah, Fortius is not in the business of making fun of random old people, so here for the fishing contest. You ready?
Yeah.
Shall we make a wager then?
How much?
Speaking of roleplay, I have no idea why Fortius is doing this. I'm doing this because I like the quest rewards. But, I don't know. Maybe Fortius likes 1,000 gold.
Little coin always greases the wheel.
Maybe Fortius enjoys fishing in his off time between fighting dragons and stormcloaks. he likes doing a little bit of fishing and gets to the point where if it's your only hobby, you're going to start to take it a little more seriously than maybe you should. So now he's at the point where he's wagering 1,000 septims. With an obviously homeless old man in a fishing contest. Yeah, I don't know. Between dragons, taking a little bit of a break for a friendly contest. Hit him! Hit him! I guess I could kill him outright right now. Is there some kind of tactical advantage, Boone, to killing him right now? I guess there is. You don't have to fight him along with these higher level mage enemies. If you hit him before he reaches his goal, there will be no ambush. Oh, but I like the ambush. They have some good enchanted gear on them. Yeah, so at lower level, absolutely. You do not want to fight. I think they're unleveled. These enemies are unleveled. So at lower level, you know, whereas a lot of enemies would be scaled lower to match your skill, your player level. A lot of the Creation Club content is not leveled. So it's very, very hard early on in the game. Unleveled and quite hard, yep. But as we just handily dispatched an ancient dragon on what is actually harder than vanilla legendary difficulty. I don't think we're gonna have any problem. We have Spellbreaker. We're gonna be good.
Hey,
Fireballs. Okay. Can't see them. Marauders. Killcam helped us out a little bit on that one. Okay. Vagrant Robes of Major Conjuring, 569 coins for £1 item. Really nice. Where's the other one? There are 2 mages and Brutius that you have to deal with. Dead Nord and a dead orc? What happened here? Part of the ambush, I guess. Where's the other mage? My team Rich club in football club, the World, Newcastle United. Ah. The wife and I have been watching Ted Lasso on Apple TV, and we're not really soccer fans. We're pretty much the classic American sports fan with it's all about baseball, football, and you know, basketball if our teams are in it. Ted Lasso was awesome. Yeah, we're really enjoying it. It's I don't know. I just love the positivity. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but even the challenges that they have is it's like got this we'll get through it together mentality to it, the way it's addressed. And I'm usually not a huge fan of overly optimistic entertainment. I like the depressing stuff sometimes. Here we go. Don't know why he wasn't showing up on my instincts. But, you know, I was really needing some some optimistic pick-me-up, and it really hit the spot. Good stuff. All right, Brutius's journal. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Lost a ring. Let's pluck it out. We're just going to fish until there are no more fish to be had. I'm not going to do the whole boon thing of the ha 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 7 minutes later. I hope my impression did you justice, Boone. Did my best. I'm just going to fish until there are no more fish left in this area, and then we'll move on. Not into watching sports, don't really enjoy playing football, basketball, or baseball either. Ah, I got some laughs from Boone. Good, good. There it is, the Warlock's ring. Fantastic impression, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all day, well, at least for another hour and a half. I need the go, go, go type of engagement with sports. Basketball is, well, a lot of fouling and flopping going on in basketball now, so not as much action as there used to be. But when you get 2 teams that are willing to play physically and referees that are willing not to call the fouls, it can be a lot of fun to watch. Might enjoy Afterlife with Ricky. Okay, so Afterlife, the Ted Lasso had an episode all about Afterlife, right? Or was that After Hours? After Hours was that crazy episode with Coach Beard. My wife thinks I'm Coach Beard. She thinks I'm halfway between Coach Beard and Roy Kent. I'll take it. Those are my 2 favorite characters, so I'll take it. Afterlife. Bitter, bitter, funny, funny, sweet, sarcastic. Okay. I like Ricky Gervais. I'm a Ricky Gervais fan. I'll put it on the watch list. Coach Beard is the brain of the show. Absolutely. I had to laugh, though, when Jamie corrected him on his use of ironic, and he got real upset about it. Because he was right. Coach Beard, baby! Fouls and flopping sounds like the standard football experience. I mean, soccer. There you go. Yeah, that's usually what does it for me too, is just baiting fouls has become such a part of the game in both basketball and soccer / football. Kind of really interrupts the flow of stuff. And that being said, my favorite sport is baseball. So talk about interrupted flow. That whole game is about interrupting flow. They've been doing better with some of the newer rules, though. I think it's definitely brought game times down. Not allowed to switch pitchers for every batter anymore in the mid to late game. Bases are bigger. There's a pitch timer. I'm like a baseball purist, but I think those are all pretty good changes. In order for a sport to survive, you gotta, capture the attention of the youth, because they're the ones who are gonna be, watching it after you're gone. So, gotta get the youth on board if you want your thing to grow. And I feel like baseball is a funner sport to watch now. We'll see if it actually catches on or not. A lot of nuance in baseball. American cricket. Yeah, I mean, just even trying to understand what's going on in cricket, having a very deep and intimate knowledge of baseball rules is hard. I would imagine it's the same way the other way around, too. Well, that sounded wrong. Okay, what did I say? Oh, intimate rules of baseball? Well, it's got balls and bats. Long phallic shafts. Wood. Lots of wood. Gotta get youth on board if you want your thing to grow. Jesus. Nobody clip that. God damn it. Wow, putting yourself out there on YouTube is hard these days. No, I didn't mean it to sound like that. Jesus. Alright, we're just gonna play a non-commentary silent let's play of Skyrim now. Starting now. Really liked Moneyball until I had to find out it was nonsense. It's based on a true story, and the sabermetrics was a thing for a long time. It still is, actually. Turns out that was not... It was the meta for a while, but it just isn't anymore. Now it's all about just home runs all the time. Which is kind of sad, because that makes the game less fun to watch.
Do you have a death wish?
You can clip things? Guys, you're gonna get me canceled. Come on now. All right, so the next one is down here at Elder's Blood Peak. I think it's right before the bridge over here. Let's keep an eye out to the left. There is a path that will take me up to scale the west side of this mountain. I'll be multitasking playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Can I adjust the length? Adjust the length? You too, Wind? You could adjust the length anytime. Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous and watching. Hey, no problem. I love multitaskers. I'm very bad at doing it myself, but I really have no problem being relegated to background. Are you playing with some people, or are you playing, is that a video game? A lot of people like Pathfinder as a tabletop RPG. Nice alternative to... Oh, there's the dragon. The dragon, it's attacking at 2 wind. Yeah. Can I scrub the length? Ooh. You all are getting on board. Moneyball was supposed to be a true story, but it was just not. I was disappointed finding out that the real Billy Bean was quite different, and Oakland did not invent a new strategy. Yeah, well, it's was heavily adjusted for, you know, mainstream audiences, I suppose. Billy Bean looks nothing like Brad Pitt, unfortunately. Only we could all be that attractive. Well, I mean, been around me enough to know. Yes, indeed. Alright, which way are we going here? I think it's this way. Did you just call yourself just background noise? I wouldn't relegate my entire identity to being just background noise. But I don't mind being somebody else's background noise while they're playing something else. I don't mind the relegation in certain instances. Alright, let's get this guy on the ground. Another ancient dragon. I guess at level 60 we're going to be fighting nothing but high level dragons for the most part. Let's try to get back up into that clearing. He ever decides to turn around and shoot some fire breath at me. I don't have any potions to help protect me. I don't think he's attacking me. Oh, he is attacking me. Okay. Are there any more trolls up here?
Dragon!
I see it, Lydia. You're just now seeing the dragon? Oh my god. So hard to find good help these days. Oh, alright. We're gonna need some... regenerate stamina. Elixir of the Defender. Yeah, probably. True shot. We're past the time for arrows at this point. Resist fire. Yes, please. I think I have more in the back here. In storage. We'll do some regeneration. Goose that up a little bit. Oh, draft of strength. Do I have any resist magic? I do not. Do have one-handed and two-handed though. Stick with one-handed for now. If and when he lands, we might switch, but I think we'll just kind of worried about survivability here, especially after losing 50% of my health on one wing attack. Dragon Rend. Yes, indeedy. Come have a seat, Mr. Dragon. Do dragons have genders? Or are they asexual? Are they all male? Does anybody know? Just curious. Thundering Blow takes a chunk. Oh, Lydia going in for the kill. Look at that. Didn't see the dragon coming until he shot a fireball right up her butt. But then she does something like this and totally redeems herself. Dumb and Dumber. Level 98 and getting wrecked by any dragon that just decided to play peekaboo. Nice. Dragons of all levels are still weak to most poisons, which helps a lot. Yes, indeed. Technically, they should. They should have gender. No female voice dragons in the game, though. But you wouldn't really know, right? So, like in Lord of the Rings, Gimli was talking about, like, a lot of humans don't really know a female dwarf when they see them because of the beards. So I'm wondering if, like, dragons, well, especially reptiles in general, their genitalia is on the inside, right? And it's very, very hard to tell what sex the animal is without being very invasive about it. So I'm wondering if dragons would probably be the same way. You probably wouldn't be able to tell one way or the other. Fantasy dwarves where women have beards. Yeah, we were just saying the same thing. And just as I was typing it, you mentioned it. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't. Well, reptiles, even in nature, there's almost no physical way to tell. They sound the same. They look the same. They're pretty much exactly the same, except for internal organs are a little bit different. You can put giant tits on your dragon. There you go. That would help. It would be no confusing it at that point. Snails have both genders? Yeah, there you go. All right. And so we have all of... Oh, no. I need to go get the dang old assassin's gear. Smoldering embers as well. Ridiculous modded. Yeah, you know, was that like the... I don't know. What do they call that? It's like a Murphy's Law of the internet, but if there is anything that'll exist, somebody on the internet will sexualize it. It has a name. I don't remember what it is, but... You know, I don't partake with that stuff personally, but... I'm on some level, I'm kind of glad it exists. I don't exactly like it, but maybe I'd be a little sad if it went away forever. Where the hell is this? Ah, there it is. Talking about Rule 34, that might be the one, yeah. Oh god, did the wind actually clip me? You gotta be kidding me. You guys are gonna kill me. Well, that sounded wrong. Okay, what did I say? Oh, intimate rules of baseball? Well, you know, it's got balls and bats. Long phallic shafts. Wood. Lots of wood. Gotta get youth on board if you want your thing to grow. Jesus. Nobody clipped that. God damn it. Alright. Okay. Well done. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. God damn it. And this is the end of your career. This is the end of my life as I know it. But, you know, it's kind of worth it. It was a good laugh. Eggs will coincide with the colors of the color they breathe. Interesting. For dragons? Is that an Elder Scrolls thing, or is that a Tolkien thing? I always wondered if Argonians were actually mammals. I think Argonians adapt. I think according to lore, Argonians can live in harsher, colder climates, even though they may not be warm-blooded. To start off with, they can adapt to it and become warm-blooded. Something about that. Car's gonna end up on one of the neighborhood lists. Something posting a sign and some chick named Megan. Oh no. Oh no. Argonians are from eggs. So that kind of disqualifies them from being mammals, at least in terms of being born, right? Actually more about having tatas for a reason. There you go. Yeah, Argonians do have boobs. What else would they be for if they're not feeding their young with them, right? They developed antifreeze blood like fish under the Arctic ice cap. There you go. Yeah, I read something about that a long time ago. I didn't know all the in-depth details about it. Let's see what's next here. We got some. Just trying to think if there's any more word walls that are in the direct vicinity. I don't think so. This was kind of a good little route that I had. I already had the bounty at Halted Stream. And then there was Skyborn Altar, just took the path all the way through Labyrinthian, had the fishing challenge over here in Morthal, went up to Elder's Blood Peak. And we're good. All right. All right, let's continue on with the companions quest line then. I really don't want to march all the way back down, but I don't want to just blatantly fast travel everywhere. So let's do... We'll just fast travel back down to the Morthal carriage stop, and then we'll take the carriage to Iverstead, and then we'll work our way over to Treva's Watch from there. The platypus lays eggs and is a mammal. Interesting. Platypus is a severe outlier in many ways, though. Right? What? I mean, it's a mammal, but... Is it? I don't... What exactly makes it a mammal? The way that it feeds its young? I guess technically mammals give live birth, but they also come from eggs too, just internally, right? For quality class creature like humans and Argonians, longer development periods is a necessity, so it's not surprising that they developed memories. Interesting. Okay, so we're here in Iverstead. The weather isn't too inclement right now. We can actually see where we're going. So I guess we'll take our horse Pelgi down through the road, through the rift. It's going to be a nice little ride, actually, with the aspen trees and such. And then there should be a crossing over here near Treva's Watch, and we'll go ahead and do that little mini quest line there with Steleo and his family. Mama, not mama. Gotcha, gotcha. Interesting. That's where the word mammal comes from. From the mammalies. The mammally glands. Mammally glands? Do we have Lydia with us? Yeah, she was just hopping on her horse too. I feel like I heard somebody unsheath their weapon. There is an Imperial encampment and some bandits over there, and sometimes they end up fighting each other. I don't know if now is that time or not, but we got some annoying wolves here.
Only a fool lets himself get surrounded.
Who got surrounded? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I was surrounded or not. Those wolves are just annoying mosquitoes to me at this point. Unlurk! Joe is back. All right, everybody, behave. Behave so that Joe's misbehaviors? Misbehavior. Can't find the word. Everybody behave so that Joe's misbehavior is accentuated even further for even more entertainment value. You got surrounded by one wolf. It's a new world record. Yes, indeed. Or maybe she was talking about the wolf that was surrounded, but there's only two of us, and those wolves weren't exactly surrounded. Now, sometimes there is an unleveled assassin over here, which is not really an issue anymore at this level. Doesn't appear to be the case this time. Okay, we're going to take the bend around to the left, and then we're just going to continue straight when the main road bends back to the right. Trying to call me out on something? Should have never said anything. You're a son of a... summon of a bitch. A summon a bitch? You know that? I am. I summon bitches at will all the time. Don't tell my wife I said that. I can surround my dog and my cats. It's a size issue. Yes, indeed. I call that cuddle time, and my dog hates it. No, she actually loves it. One of the rare dogs that doesn't mind being Little Spoon for hours on end. Spell tome, conjure bitches. Author Karn. It's weird. I've been dreaming of having 50 cats. Really? Aspirational cat lady? It's a lover's lab conjuration spell. Summon a bitch. It sounds like it's already got its marketing done for it. I bet that could make a fortune in Skyrim. The all new summon a bitch. All right, Steleo.
I'm here to help.
What's going on here?
Finally,
Silverhand took over your family's
I was expecting
keep?
more though. You'd better be good.
God, he looks a little worse for wear. Look at the bags under his eyes. Sleeping in the rain outside. Well, not to brag, but I'm pretty good.
Good. The place is crawling with bandits. We lost some good men trying to take it earlier. I suspect Brewer had planned this. There's been bad
Wouldn't mind that at all.
between us
Just
since the
once a year, though. 50K. Yeah.
But to invade my home,
Probably be hard to live in that situation.
kidnap my family.
I mean, one cat is probably hairy enough. I have one dog with short hair, and she sheds more than enough for me. Sounds like more than just bad blood. Well, do you have a plan? I'm all about the
Front gate is
tactics.
locked, so you'll need to use the mine entrance behind us.
Okay.
Open the front gate.
In through the
We'll
outdoor.
try
I
and
like
give you
it.
some support.
Nobody say anything. Okay, sure. I'll do it. I need to go in there
wish
to
we could
take care of
offer
these
more help.
quote-unquote bandits
But
anyway.
our last attack went sour, and we're all that is left.
Dang, not a lot.
Good luck.
All right, let's get in there. So if we can take the more narrow route over here, we can reduce the advantage of their numbers. How would you feed 50 cats? With 50 nipples, of course. I like this quest and doing it for real. Yeah, I do too.
Someone there?
Yes, human females do have eggs. Indeed they do. They don't lay eggs, typically. Unless they're real upset about something, but yeah.
That's how it's done.
Is that it? Good to go? Oh, Lydia used her avatar ability. Nice. Probably wanted to save that for later, but this was a major choke point right at the beginning. I'm gonna take their beef. Answer to the age-old question, where's the beef? We found it. Take those bolts. I might want to use a crossbow at some point. Got some iron ore here too. We'll take that. Might want to flesh out the rest of the Hearthfire homes. Of course, there needs to be a male version, so I offer up the conjuration spell, muster a motherfucker. Yes. Indeed. Someone link that for me. Yes. Having sourdough pizza, mushrooms, pancetta, and mascarpone with some mozzarella on the bottom. God damn it, James, you're making me hungry now. I'm gonna have to go get some pizza or something for lunch. Man, I'm real hungry. My wife and I rode the bikes out to a neighborhood diner yesterday to try out. We've been here for, let's see, so it's 2016, 2015. No, 2016. We've been in this neighborhood, so let's see, that would be like 8 years at this point, maybe a little more. And the really popular neighborhood diner we've never been to, so we went. It was pretty good, not bad. The prices were really good, pretty standard diner food. Better than like a chain, I would say, like Denny's or Village Inn or something, but pretty good. I had a club sandwich with some ham and turkey and bacon. The fries were really good there too. Man, now I'm hungry. You guys always doing this to me. Wonder what's for lunch today. I have a few factor meals left that I got to eat by Tuesday when the rest of them come, so I'm gonna take a nap here, just because Shadow of Skyrim will respawn me at my last point where I slept. How am I doing on hunger? Mild hunger, moderate thirst. All right. Don't have anything to drink except for ale, and I don't want the stamina regen debuff for that. So let's go ahead and do some soup. I'll help a little bit, I think. Yeah, all right. That slaked my thirst with the soup. Having oven-baked burritos for dinner. That sounds really good, too. Man, I could go for a burrito. Jeez, you guys are killing me, man. We're going out for sushi for my oldest's birthday, which actually is on Thanksgiving. I haven't had sushi forever, too. The weather's a little cooler here. Oh, my goodness. Forgot about all these damn traps. Sushi for me isn't really hot weather food. Well, it is, as long as you can go eat it somewhere cool, because sushi in a warm environment is kind of gross because of the fish smells and whatever. But it also isn't really a cold weather food for me either, because it's not very hearty. I jacked up my hotkeys on there. That should be the Orcish Force arrows. Here we go. But the weather's been really nice lately. It's been unseasonably warm, like every single season has here. I was wearing a pair of sweatpants because it's been dipping down into the 40s last week, but it was like a low of 60 last night or something. I started sweating, so I had to put on some shorts for pajamas. All right. I did want to drop that sword. I did not want to pick that up. Don't need that, and don't need that. I do want these ingots, though. I'll take those for Hearthfire. Yes, please. So sushi might be good tonight. Sushi hibachi, so that's what we're gonna do. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Sounds like a fun time. One's Pearl anniversary should allow for some allowances. Ooh, yeah. A little bit of a hall pass. No, I'm kidding. It's a spendy weekend. Yeah, anniversary with the oldest birthday. That's fine. As long as it's a spendy weekend and not like a spendy life, you know? Where's that clip button again? Oh no, did I say something? I said something, didn't I?
What was that?
We'll just do some two-handed action here. We
Time to die here.
haven't been using the greatsword much. Yeah, that two-handed power attack would have blown right through my block there. Been rough. Ooh. Daedric armor, huh? I missed the hotkey.
You won't. Now that's how it's done.
It's been forever since I've eaten so well.
And it shows. I've seen workers with smaller guts.
Rusty septic. Funny coming from a woman whose breath smells like she just kissed a drogger. But you two shut up.
I love the banter.
You picked a bad time to get lost.
Oh no. This hurts.
Red Star fight.
You okay, Lydia? I know those spells hurt.
So fast.
She's an NPC though. She takes damage a little better than I do. Kill the mage first. Oh, crossbow. They ignore armor. It's 50% of it. But we're holding up pretty well. Ooh, another mage. Oh my god.
Do you have a death wish?
I feel like I did at that point. I almost died twice there. Good thing I slept on that bedroll down in the basement. Now there is a room just chock full of Billy Rose swords in here. Ooh, man, I thought I got the dodge roll in time, but I guess I did not. Man, that hurt too. I don't want to waste too many more of these ultimate healing potions here, so I'm gonna try to let this regen naturally. Some more leather pouches I can throw on.
Is someone there?
All right, I'm off. Have fun. It was great watching you again, Karn. Yeah, Boone, take care, okay? Have a good weekend. Good evening.
Prepared to die.
Oh, okay.
Over here.
Tell you what.
The shield charge didn't take on that one, didn't get the full knockdown, but whatever. He at least got staggered from the sprint itself. Oh, you know what? I actually want to go back up the tower. Let's go do that. Craving shredded steak and melted Gouda cheese with some tangy barbecue sauce and a side of Louisiana spiced mozzarella cheese sticks. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. It sounds amazing. I could go for some barbecue too. Damn it. So hungry. And barbecue sounds really good. We got pizza, we got barbecue, we had sushi in there. My god, all the good stuff.
The important stuff.
dark up there, but I know they're gonna be storming down. Here we go. Ragdoll them.
What was that?
Oh, no. Gonna die from it.
From me.
Okay, Lydia got him.
I knew I'd find you.
You won't get the best of me.
Oh no, Lydia's invisible. What happened, Lydia?
Kill you if I have to.
These trick arrows are ridiculous. They are indeed in the best ways. Yeah, Enraged Bard commented on that trick arrows demonstration video. And he was like, quote, and here's what the dwarven flame arrows do. And then Instar is like, nuclear explosion. That indeed how it be. I would kind of like to do like some arcane archery with it, because I feel like with the frost, shock, and flame arrows with trick arrows, along with amplified destruction from potions and from enchantments, you could really do some major damage with those things. That would be so fun. Wait till he finds out about the Tonal Architect mod. Yeah, I do actually have it in my load order. I played around with it a little bit. Just too many builds, too little time. But yeah, absolutely. This stuff is fun as hell. With the different dwarven staves that you can make, doing all kinds of ridiculous things. And then the spells, the summoning, the traps. It's so much fun. Definitely is going to be a build coming down the pipeline at some point for the Tonal Architect stuff. Very cool stuff. So we went to a steakhouse last night and I ordered the prime rib. God damn it, that sounds good too. Holy fuck, it was massive. At least 2.5 inches thick, probably 20 plus ounces. Needless to say, I brought home leftovers. I love a good prime rib, but only if it's like moist and juicy. If it tends to get dried out sometimes. And when that happens, it's not as good. But definitely when it's like not overcooked and it's not dried out, it's nice and juicy, thick and moist. Just like I like my women. I'm kidding. Maybe. Yeah, that could be, there's nothing better than that. Mage circlet. Can enchant that. Sell it for a very pretty penny. Alright, Lydia, you ready? Stileo's probably taking care of everybody out there, or he has died. So an artificer build is in the cards. Maybe. Maybe. Oh shit. I thought that was Lydia following up.
I'll rip your heart out.
Oh man, they're nickel and diming me on the bolts here. Now, as long as I have my shield up, I do have a lot of extra protection against all attacks. Let's see if we can get them both in one run. There we go. Yeah, run away. Lydia, what are you even doing? I hear you trash talking from downtown, not doing anything. Yeah, so with the warrior, oh, this must have been, it's a Bosmer? Yeah, wood elf, elf blood, okay. Have the blood extractor from Septimus now. getting his stuff done. Okay, I guess now we just have to find Steleo. I think all the Silverhand are taken care of here. Time we got 1:10. Got another 50 minutes or so. Get the light stuff, leave the heavy stuff. We really have no need for money anymore, so most looting is useless at this point. Some of the ammo is worth taking, especially the bolts at this point. They're weightless anyway. The septums, of course, there's no reason not to take the septums. All right, where did Steleo go? Oh, they're still on the outside because I never actually opened the gates. Some tactical genius I am. Fortius over here, he's supposed to be the chosen one for the Empire. Yeah, get in here, kill them. They're attacking. Go get them. You got this. Actually, you're welcome.
Yeah? Thank you for your help. Did you see
Oh,
my
it was
family
good. Creamy
inside?
horseradish and au jus, rare, very good. Awesome. That's the way you got to eat it. All the rogue mage hybrids are cool. Nightblade, artificer, trickster, merchant, illusion agent. They're all so fun. Yes, indeed, indeed. That's kind of like how the whole game was set up for, though, right?
Yeah? Hmm?
The engine just works so much better with stealth mechanics and magic and kind of like setting all these pieces in motion from the shadows and just watching it all play out as a simulation. With lots of mods and everything, I can get the combat to play like a game that I really like. It's responsive, it's quick, it's fun, and the melee combat is engaging. But really, like, stealth hybrid is where it's at with this game. Hard to argue. All roads do lead to stealth archer. It's the great Skyrim funnel, right? Why aren't you going back in? Getting things cleaned up. I do have to go back in and get the Billy Rose swords, though. Those are unique items. Not really in terms of enchantments or anything, but some very unique pieces out there that look really cool. So let's make our way back through that. Get into that side room. Gather all those swords up. Just like all caves lead to Blackreach. Yes, they do. That is absolutely true. I recommend tonal weapons mod for their tonal weapons, not just the tonal architect for the artificer build. All right, so what do you guys consider an artificer build? I've heard that thrown around a couple times, and it means a couple different things based on the context that I've gathered from it. So you guys tell me what an artificer build is. How would you define it? Was this it? I don't feel like I've been in this room, but I don't remember getting this chest. You craft stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the one build that I had that I think would check that box off was the Gadgeteer. And that was one that I played on stream a couple times. I never really made a build guide on it. It was kind of a stealth archer a little bit, but mostly just all crafting. I was using the Exploding Traps mod. I think that was an LE mod that I had to convert myself over to SE. And it needed some meshes and things to be converted through NifScope, but other than that, it was a pretty easy conversion. They're a little bit wonky though. I heavily made use of those and the bear traps from the lockpicking skill tree. Here we go. Here's the room with, oh, there's one of them anyway. Dark Arthurian longsword. There we go. Not super valuable, but it is a unique piece, and I might smith it up and use it at some point. There's another room in this fort somewhere that has like several of them. I'm trying to find them. Yeah, the Billy Rowe Compendium. It has a bunch of unique swords, very well crafted. think I have that one already. The Daedric Mail, don't need it. Mostly just heavy armor stuff for me. It's right here, this room right here. I don't think an artillerist artificer is possible yet. There is the turret in the smithing tree, but Magus made good use of the turrets in a previous build, and but I've not actually been able to get them to be very strong. They're very cool. I just had a hard time getting them to work properly, and I don't really know what my problem was, but Magus definitely got some really good use out of it, and I'm not sure what he was doing differently from what I was doing. There was something there, because it seemed very strong for him. Oh, great store. This seems pretty brutal. Probably would be something that Fortius would be interested in displaying somewhere, but maybe not really using. Just a little too brutalistic for him. All right, Lydia, I think I need your help. Do my boxes? Oh, no, never mind. Probably don't. Other boxes worked. All right, there we go. So let's take a look at these unique items that we got here. Crow, this comes from immersive weapons. It's not unique. This is just plopped into level lists, but the more things you have in your leveled lists, the more rare everything becomes. So it's a very high level item. Very valuable, for sure. And this would go well for maybe kind of like a gothic, maybe dark death knight or something. Or like a brutalistic barbarian knight. I don't know. Dark Arthurian longsword will definitely fit with the sort of traditional knight aesthetic that I got going on here. Once I do get the steel plate armor working again. Absolutely might be using that one. Same with the Flamberge. It's more of like a Highlands Claymore type thing, I think, but very cool with the curves in it. Very ornate piece. I feel like this is going to highly affect the structural stability of the weapon, though. I feel like this might be more prone to breaking than a straight longsword. And Clara's dagger. This is a great freaking piece. This looks awesome. Love this dagger, even though we're not going to be using daggers with this build. At some point, I'll do a dual wield build, and I'll need a dagger in the offhand, and maybe I'll use that one. Oh yeah, and there are also some staves here too. Trying to find where those went. Should be in the weapons section. Yeah, okay. 2 crescent staves. One of them does fireballs. Very cool looking. This is also Billy Rose Compendium here. Very high quality items. And the moon staff. Both of them do fire. I thought one of them, since one of them was like a moon, it would do like frost damage or like an ice frost storm or something. Ice storm. And the other one would do the fireball, but no, they're both fireball. You say that Spellbreaker is an artificer item because it was crafted by the dwarves? Yeah. I could see that. Artillerist, I think you can still do with, you could do like a dwarven crossbow with exploding bolts, right? That's kind of like a rocket launcher almost. And the crossbow is mechanized enough, I think, that it might fit the bill. But yeah, you can do bear traps, you can do the turret, but I feel like just having a crossbow with exploding bolts is kind of more straightforward. Maybe more effective. I watched Magus use his turrets and they looked really effective, but I just have not had the same luck with them. They take some patience, but it's 100% viable on Legendary. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Do they scale with like destruction perks at all? Because if so, that might be some juice that we could use. So like destruction mastery with ordinator, and then the fortified destruction potions. I know that the fire arrows, fire and frost arrows and bolts, they do scale with the fortified destruction potions, which is a great way to make those stronger. I wonder if the turret does the same thing. All right, what time we got? We got about 40 minutes left. Okay, let's get out of Treva's watch. I suppose we could shack up here for the night, but I would rather... What is this over here? Ask Viria about additional fishing quests. Yeah, maybe let's head down to Riften. We'll get a good night's sleep there. We have a bed in the Thieves Guild down under the city. Can use that to maybe sell some stuff off. And we'll get the next quest from Viria for the fishing quest line. They scale with your smithing skill. Okay, yeah, I knew that, I think, but because it's more of a destruction effect, you might be able to double dip with scaling, is what I'm saying. If it's able to scale from both smithing and destruction, then you got yourself something like really strong. Now we're cooking with gas. I'm just trying to prolong the awkward silence as long as possible. Good night's sleep. There you go. Reminds me of that one Tumblr post with the chainmail blanket. Ooh. Some people do love a weighted blanket, but I feel like the chainmail might be a little jaggy. You gotta remember, they start off with 1, then eventually 2, then speeds up and duration lasts longer till it's like a machine gun blasting away. That also means 2 things. Where do those crescent staves come from? Billy Rose Compendium. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Billy. Those weapons. I believe they come from this one. %2 firing speed up to 200%. Man, that's crazy. Let me just double check to make sure that this is where they come from. They might not be. It was a Billy Rose something or other. These are some really awesome, unique swords. I recommend them to anybody who likes to add some unique pieces to their game. None of them are enchanted. Ooh, I don't think I've ever found this axe, but that looks pretty brutal looking. Some really good paladin stuff in there. Oh, actually, maybe old swords? These look like the same Ultimate Swords Anthology. Those are the same one. The hell? Billy Rose Swords. Where's this other one coming from? Billy Rose Weapons, Billy Rose Swords. Weird. And they all point at the same one. Let's see here. Did he take the old swords down? Interesting. I don't know where these are, where you can still find these. I wonder if the old store's swords got taken down. Maybe he added it to this one. Last downloaded. When did I last download this? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, here we go. No. Last updated on 2017, which... I thought it told you when you last downloaded it. Should have been since then, though. Oh, here we go. He's got a link to it. Maybe the crescents come from something else? I thought, I was almost certain it was this, it was one of the Billy Rose ones. Anyway, I'll give you this one too. We're looking for the staves though. These are, yeah, I know. I thought they were packaged in with the swords was what I was doing there. Try weapons first. Oh yeah, it is. It's in the first one I did. They're right there. They just weren't mentioned on the page for whatever reason. Yeah, it's in the Ultimate Compendium. Some really cool stuff in here. Some really good stuff for a paladin too, Haster, if you're looking for some good swords for a paladin. Daedric Crescent. Oh yeah, no, we're talking about the Crescent Stabs here, Haster, with the Fireball Staves. Yeah, these are definitely from Billy Rose. I think Synthesis has a script for integrating weapon mods with your enchantments. I believe so too. I'll have to look into that because that could be cool. Getting like all of your Summer Mist enchantments into your leveled items from other mods in the leveled list. Like your immersive weapons and your historically accurate Viking weapons and armor.
I've never been more ready.
Come and get it, bear. Oh. Got paralyzed, huh? Don't know how I swung and missed on that last one. Wow, how are you not dead yet? I mean, seriously.
Do you have a death wish?
I think so. And Daedric Crescent, oh, or from immersive weapons. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not just on its own. The Daedric Crescent you can find in immersive weapons. Yes, indeed. Have you got the imprisonment enchantment on that? No, this is just the well, it's not vanilla paralysis. I think it was the tuned paralysis from Odin. Not Odin. Summer Mist. It just has a 25% chance to paralyze a living enemy, I believe. Where is it? Oh, just any target, I guess, for 3 seconds. And that's all you need to be able to switch out to a more appropriate weapon sometimes. Wow, mounted combat. Yeah, that was kind of boring mounted combat too. But I have dipped my toe in some mounted combat with this character. With a knight character, I might really dip into some of the enchanted stuff that you have for mounted combat in Summer Mist. I know Zarek Zacharon has made a cavalry build where the whole build is meant to be done on horseback, and it was pretty viable actually. The Summer Mist enchantments pack does have boosted combat while on horseback, and I believe some other spell packs in Skyrim do have spells that are effective on horseback as well, like Thundering Hooves. All that. Is mounted archery available? Yes, it actually in vanilla you can do archery from horseback. So if you want to do like a Native American build or something, That's completely viable. The problem is once they do eventually get close to you, it becomes hard to like aim down at your feet for stuff. Two-handed weapons are probably most effective on horseback because you have like the same animation for an attack speed as the one-handed stuff, so it's just a huge damage boost to have the two-handed out instead of the one-handed. I was thinking more Mongolian horde. Yep, absolutely. And I think that's kind of what Zacharon styled his stuff after too. It was more inspired from the Mongolian stuff than the Native American stuff. You mean Mongolian horse riders that are known for their fast bowship? Yes. Yes, indeed. It's all about those iron stirrups. Allowed them to conquer conquer Asia. Not all of Asia, obviously, but they were a force to be reckoned with for sure. And I feel like a lot of people think of the Mongolian hordes as like more like barbaric, just screaming warriors or whatever. But no, they had a lot of skill and a lot of technology at their fingertips. You wanted to a mounted caster build. Oh yeah, no, there's no casting, at least not in vanilla. There might be some mods that enable it, but I doubt that you can find anything that isn't janky. But yeah, no, you're not allowed to, it doesn't allow you to cast from horseback, as far as I'm aware. Lil Vixie, hey buddy. How's it going? Enjoying the weather? Vixie's been posting some really cool Dragon Age shots, and I'm itching to play that game. I got a few things on my backlog right now I'm trying to get through. I'd like to play it. Been beautiful, great temps finally, yeah. Still maybe a little too warm for my taste for the winter, you know? But I'm not complaining at all. It's been absolutely beautiful. Finished it for the second time already? Dang it. I'm behind. I'm way behind. Okay, 9 p.m. Here we go. Let's see. Let's eat and drink and be merry. I don't think I really need to go to the Ragged Flagon to get anything to eat. I think I have plenty of food. I do need some water, though. I don't think I have any friendly friends down here, so I'll have to go. And I definitely don't want to fill my water skins up with sewer water down here, so let's go talk to Veckel. We'll get some water. Maybe we'll eat with the rest of the guild here. Had my own mounted build that worshipped Kine, allowing him to summon a Sabercat mount. Yeah, that Sabercat mount is really cool. I've used it before too. It's awesome to have kind of a custom flavored mount for like a druid build or like a champion of Kine, like you said. The one problem I had with it is that it didn't work with convenient horses, and the convenient horses adds a lot of good functionality to just being mounted in general. Not just combat. So that kind of turned me off of it a little bit. I'm sure there's probably a patch for it. If not, then maybe that's something for me to look into at some point. But oh my god, Veckel doesn't even give me water either. I should have gotten water while I was upstairs. You know what? I don't need water. We're not going anywhere. Let's just grab some ale, maybe. Maybe some wine. Oh, he does have some water skins, though. I don't need water skins. I just need water. Yeah, well. Yearn for the mines. Wait a second. What's a warrior doing in the Thieves Guild hideout? Yeah, I do the Thieves Guild for training. I needed access to the archery trainer, and I also wanted some for the... wanted to do the quest lines for the... high-level vendors that are down here too, so I could sell some stuff, but mostly just for the archery. And it's fun to do the Thieves Guild missions as a warrior, with no sneak. I actually cleared out Golden Glow as just a pure warrior, and it was a really good time. I did that on stream a few weeks ago. That was fun. Yeah, definitely if I were doing a pure roleplay on this, I wouldn't be doing this, or I would be doing this off canon, I suppose. Kind of in the background if I were telling a story or something on YouTube. Finally in the 70s, and it feels amazing. I can't wait to get a few colder days. Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. It dipped into like the low 40s, I think, but I feel like it was barely dipped into the 50s last night. I was actually sweating last night. Couldn't cool off. But yeah, this is the perfect time to go out and do some stuff. Enjoy the weather.
You had a chance to speak to our contact in Whiterun?
Sorry, Mercer. They no longer wish to be involved in our
A deer mount? Hell yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a nap here. Yeah, if I were doing a pure roleplay here, I'd be sleeping up at the Bee and Barb.
This one over. For the Dark Brother.
East Blood. We're not going to get a restful night's sleep anyway, but it doesn't look like we're actually thirsty. We'll go ahead and just get some liquid in us here. Maybe some light veggies. And we'll sleep in a bit. Ayla only adapted trainer in archery. Yeah, the problem with Ayla is she only goes up to expert, like level 75 or so. If you want to train any further than that, you need Neroin. And then, of course, you got Angie's Camp and all the skill books and everything. Oh, I'd take some rain. It's been a while since we had rain. Yes, indeed. We love our rain here in the Phoenix area for sure. Arizona in general.
I have everything you asked.
We need it. We love it.
I hope this deal goes through. I'm putting quite a bit of coin on the line, and the last two you set up fell.
Ayla is not mastery trainer. It's Nero in here.
They were a sure thing, I swear.
Ayla is expert,
This one
I
isn't
believe.
another waste of my coin.
If you need marksman training, and there's nothing more I can teach you.
Yeah, I can't even get into his training menu. But yeah, definitely Nero in his master. And I think there's a master archer trainer in the Dawn Guard as well. Is it, what's her name? The one with the crossbows? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, let's see. We are at 7:30 a.m. Probably need some breakfast. We'll head back up and we'll get Kirava to fill our water skin up. She won't do it happily. She'll begrudgingly do it. Hopefully she doesn't spike it somehow, you know? James says it's 11 degrees at the moment. Should be in the low 10s for us, but it's a little bit warm due to the rain. Yeah, that's the thing, is the cloud cover, the moisture in the air does warm things up a little bit. When it gets cold here, it feels cold. It's like bone chilling cold. It's piercing. But we get a little bit of rain, a little bit of moisture in the air. It feels a little bit more comfortable. So unimmersive that nobody in the Thieves Guild is ever seen topside. They should show up in town in plain clothes and we get access to their training. Yeah, I would agree. Like, even with the Dark Brotherhood, you do see Babette out in the wilderness every now and then, quote unquote hunting, right? Which is a nice little flair. And then with the companions too, you do see them out and about on their mercenary jobs or quests or whatever from time to time, which is also cool.
Riften is drowning in a sea of
You thought she was
sin
smithing?
and
No, I think the
bitterness.
dude is the smithing one, right? The smithing trainer. The guy who's also the animal trainer. I thought he was a master level trainer in smithing too. I could be mistaken. I might have them mixed up, but I don't think so.
Come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
And then I think Florentius is a restoration trainer as well, right?
Oh, it's you again. What in blazes do you want?
Just water.
Of course.
Babette is a growing girl and needs all the food she can get. Absolutely.
Door's over there. Why don't you use it?
All right. New day, new Fortius. What's going on here? Moderate thirst. Let's take care of that. It's a little bit too early for the ale, so we'll do some water there. It looks like our stomach is full enough. We need to head back to Whiterun to see what's next. Oh, I needed to talk to Viria here about the... Where is Viria? She is sometimes in the bunkhouse. She's probably already out on the docks. And then we need to go back and talk to Ayla about more Silverhand stuff. Babette is the master alchemy trainer, which makes sense since she has 300 years of experience. Absolutely. It's kind of a pain though, because pain. It always wants you to go through the meadery to get to the docks. It's kind of a pain though, because it puts that requirement of being an assassin on being able to get master level alchemy training, kind of like the archery training as well. It's like maybe your character doesn't want to join the Thieves Guild. Maybe that's like not what they would do, but in order to get master level training with archery, you have to. Let's see.
Maybe you can help me. You're headed to Dawnstar. It's all in this note. This won't be easy, but that's why I'm sending you. Think you can handle it?
The Argonian there, like mouthing along with Viria. That was fun. Always up for one of your crab dilemmas.
Thanks. Good luck out there.
Letter on mud crab attacks. That's up next to Dawnstar, right? Letter starts with L. That giant spectral mud crab, it's a cool fight. It's a cool set piece, but I am still trying to figure out the mechanics of that fight. It's like, how do you avoid the damage when they slam the claws down? Do you just have to run fast enough away? I can typically time dodge rolls in order to avoid damage during the iframes of the dodge roll, but the dodge roll is not a vanilla mechanic. I wonder how you would do that on high difficulty levels in the vanilla game. Boone would be the guy to ask, but he's not around. Very late over there, I suppose. Let me see here. It makes sense. Unless you're a poisoner, you don't need to go past the benefactor perk. That's fair. But in terms of... Well, at least in vanilla, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fair, but there's still just the scaling of the amplitude of the potion effects. I'm a big fan of fortify potions of all skills for alchemy, not just the poisons. Things like fortify one-handed, fortify archery, you know, that kind of thing. It helps your, and fortify destruction especially, helps your damage level scale into the end game on legendary difficulty, and it's almost necessary at very high levels of legendary difficulty. So just having a higher level alchemy skill, you could do that. But as with any of the crafting skills, there are ways to kind of cheese level progression by just making expensive items. leveling up that way without the need for training. Archery, on the other hand, is well, that's not a great example anyway. Just getting to, I don't know, level 84, 86 or something, because you have the skill books, you have Angie's training camp, so that's a little necessary. But for around 10 or so, 10 or a dozen levels, you kind of want to have access to that master level archery trainer, just because natural level progression in archery is very slow. You love the ambiance? It's nice, huh? With the fog and the trees. I wouldn't mind just taking a walk around in the forest here if it weren't for all the wolves and frostbite spiders and trolls and stuff lurking amongst the trees. This is very picturesque. Very nice. Absolutely. But we have business to attend to in Whiterun, so let's hire the carriage. I could imagine Fortius, really enjoying a nice leisurely ride through the aspen forests of the Rift.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
On a foggy day like today, as long as he can keep warm. It does look pretty cold. And he is not a Nord, so
Climb and back and we'll be off.
he's not as good with the cold weather as some of the other bearded tall ones are. I love Fortify Destruction because of how it interacts with the cloak spells. It boosts damage as well as radius. Yes, it does in vanilla. I think Anai has patched that out for Odin, I believe. He just thought it was a little unbalanced, which is, I don't know. I feel like you can't really worry about balance that much in Skyrim because you're going to end up overpowered regardless of like what mods you're running, what you're trying to do. And I don't play Skyrim for the balance anyway. I like the Anirim stuff because it expands gameplay and enables all these different kinds of builds. I don't really play it so much for the balance, but it's still strong enough, especially with Fortified Destruction, that you don't really need that much range. I think he dialed that back because of how you were able to cheese enemy deaths through walls. The cloak spells could go through walls. That was the big thing. Overpowered in Skyrim never happens. Right. Right. The greatest lie ever told. Suddenly Silent Hill. Yeah, I love Silent Hill, man. I should play the remake. I haven't played that one yet. Preposterous. Pastor says being OP in Skyrim is preposterous. Requiem helps a little bit, but even with Requiem, I've seen people get completely overpowered there too. It just takes longer. Fenrir, Black Wolf, welcome, buddy. How's it going? You're having a good weekend so far?
Have you watching over us.
It looks like the fog followed us all the way up from the rift into the plains. How about that? Good, glad to hear it, Fenrir. Speaking of Fenrir, I reinstalled God of War Ragnarok on my PS5 Pro with the high frame rate modes and everything. It runs absolutely amazingly. And they also released a free update with a roguelite mode on it, which I am excited to try. And Fenrir was Loki's wolf in that game. That became a god, I think, over the course of the game.
For you around here.
But it takes you there slowly. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Requiem's the best, but yeah, you get powerful there too. Yep. Not if you build my Necromancer. There you go. Magus knows how to break it.
Perfect. Hopefully this will let us know more.
I still need to get into Requiem. I tried Lore Rim, but like I said earlier, I ended up uninstalling it just because it was taking up so much room. I could probably install 12 games with the space that I saved from that. And that wasn't even including the downloads. I had that over on another drive. It's just, it was too much. Too much for me. It was taking a very long time to load anything, and I could have faster hard drives on my motherboard, but Every other game, even modern games, they load up a lot quicker than that, and it was kind of wonky. Every time you would load something, there was a chance that something wasn't quite working right, and then you would have to reload, and it would take forever. And then it was also like the combat zones were just a little too expanded and somehow too crowded at the same time. It's just a little bit much going on. That's when you know it's too much content that you'll never play. It has a huge following on it, so people love it. But yeah, it was too much for me. And Biggie Boss is all about putting in new content. Where is Vilcus? He has the shit that I like. Farkas might turn you into a thug, but he also might give you something good too. So let's see what he's got.
Some people don't think I'm smart. Those people get my fist. Ayla said you were hers, and I wasn't supposed to interfere.
Oh.
She scares me.
I'm Ayla's now, huh? I don't mind that. Fenrir is also a child of Loki? You don't want to know how that happened. Oh, sounds like a wild night in Lokiville. Yeah, there was definitely a different take on Loki in the God of War games.
To the Silver Hand, friend? I wish I could be there with you.
He becomes Loki, kind of. He's destined to be Loki and to do certain things, but he's not so much the God of Mischief that we all... It's definitely not Loki from The Mask, that's for sure.
And there is more work to be done. But
I did the 4500 plus setup in 2021. It's not cool to do anymore. Just play what you like. Yeah, I'm the same. If I could find like a more minimalistic Wabbajack for Requiem, I might look into it. But I think the next time I do Requiem, I'm just gonna do it from scratch. Make it minimalistic. Really learn how to play it on a fundamental level. And then maybe start adding stuff to it.
Something has shifted in the moons, brother.
But that takes time. Time that I don't have.
Sensed the blood pulsing a little stronger of late. I had assumed you had.
Did I see your last message? Let's see. I do know in Old Norse Fenrir is Loki's son, and depending on the story, is either the nephew or the grandson of Odin.
Prowess will grow. We could perhaps discover even more gifts of her scene.
Yeah, I think in the God of War games, he was Loki's dog. His wolf that ended up dying. Do it your own way, Karn. You'll never be truly happy using... Yeah, no, I know. And I don't really use those as like a full, like, I'm not going to... It's never going to replace like a custom list for me, right? I like to use them to see what else is out there and how they can work and get ideas for what I might want to add to my own list. But when you're, spending an entire night because of just download speeds and things like that, just the sheer amount of stuff that you're downloading and the sheer amount of space it takes up on your drive, I don't know that it's even worth that anymore. Maybe some of the smaller ones. I have, at least for Skyrim. For Fallout 4, I've downloaded Wabbajacks that I've really, really enjoyed. Just because I don't have the room in my life to mod from scratch all my different games for everything. It's just not there. And it probably won't be there for, until I retire, maybe another 20 years or so.
While you have ascended from the dung of mortality, and now walk among the stars.
I can be happy with them. It's just I'll never be as happy with it as my own thing. And even this quote-unquote novice guide mod list here that I'm running is heavily customized. I'm not doing a lot of the stuff that Vec put in the guide, which is completely unrecommended, by the way. You really have to know what you're doing, and I had to do a lot of my own patching for this, but in the end it was worth it for me to get something that I was really truly happy with. But yeah, it's I would say at this point it's probably my own list. I'm just using a lot of the same mods from the older mod guide. Let's see here. What are we doing? Blood's Honor. I gotta speak to Kodlak. Okay, let's speak to Kodlak. We'll get through that. Try to do some role play on there. See what Fortius would think of all this. Fortius is more about Destiny and being the best he can for the Empire. Honor is part of it, right? He's fought a lot of really great warriors over his time, and he does take pride in those fights, being able to measure up with people that he respects, even though he might see them as enemies. They're still worthy of respect, and on that level, he does believe in honor, and it is important to him. But it's not the end-all be-all like it is for a lot of the Nord warriors here. His skills serve a purpose beyond just, you know, the honor that those skills might earn him. It's a very pragmatic thing, right? Witch hunting time. Yeah, I want to do a witch hunter build at some point too. It's a very nuanced, interesting build that is very off meta, I would say. But I want to try it. Less heavy modded, I would suggest, is RK Commandments on Ghoulfired. Interesting.
I've been tending to the warriors of your Vasker for as long as I can remember.
So Kodlak is somebody who has had a lot of battles, and therefore, and he conducts himself admirably, right? And there is definitely a lot of wisdom there. So Fortius does quite admire Kodlak for all of that. He's not going to dogmatically follow the teachings of Kodlak. He does not like the werewolf part of it because he's not clear-headed. And a big part of what Fortius does is tactics. And if he can't go into a battle clear-headed, then he's really only fighting as a fraction of himself. So he doesn't like the blood. He's just using it right now as a tool to hone his skills further with the companions and to learn what they have to offer. He does respect his inner circle of companions that are werewolves, so he does respect their opinion on the beast blood. And therefore, with the violence that the Silver Hand has showed, and also killing one of his own in Skjor, he does see the Silver Hand as enemies that need to be eliminated, because as long as they exist, they're going to pose a threat to the companions and their way of life. So pragmatically, he's taking on the beast blood right now, but he really, really doesn't like it, and he's looking for a way to get rid of it. So we'll see. And Kodlak has also said he's been looking for ways to get rid of it too. So he is going to intently listen to what Kodlak has to say.
Yes, youngling. Have a seat.
All right, don't mind if I do. A little bit footsore.
I hear you've been busy of late.
Oh, definitely Honor has very little to do with what he's doing with the Silver Hand here. It's just pretty much all revenge. Yes, Ayla and I work to avenge Skjor's death.
Your hearts are full of grief, and my own weeps at the loss of Skjor. But his death was avenged long ago. You have
Witch Hunter combat archer? Yeah, but
demanded.
Without any armor.
The cycle of retaliation
Weird, right?
may continue.
Might have to heavily rely on trick arrows for that one.
In any case, I have a task for you. Have you heard the story of how we came to be werewolves?
Vilka said it was a curse laid upon the ancient companions.
The boy has a nugget of truth, but the reality is more complicated than that. It always is.
Spell shot repeater. I like the sound of that. I do want to make a build off of that. There's a lot of stuff in Arcanum that I want to base builds off of. So many builds, so little time. I got interesting ideas for builds for years and years and years and years. I'll never run out of ideas for them. Just need the time to play the game and edit the videos.
For a few hundred. One of my predecessors was a good but short-sighted man. He made a bargain with the witches of Glenmoral Coven. If the companions would hunt in the name of their lord Hircine, we would be granted great power.
And so they became werewolves.
They did not believe the change would be permanent. The witches offered payment, like anyone else. But we had been deceived.
Oh, legacy. Yeah, that's also that's a big driver of those long lists. Just trying to get all the patches in for legacy, but I suppose yeah, it's worth it. That's one of those. I don't know. Those legacy tends to bloat my load orders more than I would like, but it's definitely worth it for people who want to put in the work to patch it all up. The witches should be hunted down for their trickery, but we are more powerful now, right?
The witches didn't lie, of course, but it's more than our bodies. The disease, you see, affects not just our bodies. It seeps into the spirit. Upon death, werewolves are claimed by Hircine for his hunting grounds. For some, this is a paradise. They want nothing more than to chase prey with their master for eternity, and that is their choice. But I am still a true Nord, and I wish for Sovngarde as my spirit home.
Yeah, that's fair. So, have you found a way to cure yourself?
That's what I've spent my twilight years trying to find out. And now I've found the answer. The witches' magic ensnared us, and only their magic can release us. They won't give it willingly, but we can extract their foul powers by force. I want you to seek them out. Go to their coven in the wilderness. Strike them down as a true warrior of the wild. And bring me their heads, the seat of their abilities. From there, we may begin to undo centuries of impurity.
Okay. I don't have to do this alone, but I could if I needed to. Spellbreaker is very powerful, and I got Lydia with me anyway. All right, it shall be done.
Good. Now move quickly, and don't leave any of them alive. Talos guide you, lad.
So I actually used the lightning shot spell, which makes every other shot fire, makes every other shit fire a lightning bolt. That sounds uncomfortable. Later on, use the thunderbolt shot spell, which fires a thunderbolt every shot. That's awesome. Yeah, Lion's Arrow is like maybe my favorite perk in all of Ordinator. And I like to mix that up with some of the Forgotten Magic Redone spells. There's some really good illusion spells, like for the what's the mysticism guy? I don't remember. Some good warlock stuff in there, but the electromancer stuff, the lightning strike spell with the Lion's Arrow is really cool for kind of like a druid archer. Combat archer, hybrid spell shot, arcane archer, you mean? Oh, I feel like most of my arcane archers are actually combat archers. The difference to me between like a combat archer to me is just an archer that's not stealth based, right? It's like you go in, you're actually in the middle of things fighting with a bow and arrow. That to me is a combat archer. It's as opposed to a stealth archer, which you're sneaking around and sniping enemies with sneak attacks. Isn't there a forgotten magic spell called Mirage? There's a doppelganger one that clones your enemies, which is also really cool to put on Lion's Arrow as well. Yeah, it works on enemies, kind of like the Simulacrum spell from Odin. Arcane stealth archers are fun too, though. Indeed, yeah. So I guess you can have like a stealth archer that's an arcane archer, and you can also have arcane archers that are combat archers. I like to use my arcane archers as combat archers, though, because of the Lion's Arrow perk. It doesn't proc when you're out of combat, and Lion's Arrow brings a lot of juice to arcane archers. Sneak conjuration or illusion combined with arcane archery is amazing. Absolutely it is. A necro archer. I think somebody mentioned necro archer earlier. Probably hooking up Lion's Arrow to like a Raise Dead spell on the bound bow. That sounds pretty cool. Was that you who posted that? Nobody? Yeah, sounds like a fun build. Absolutely. All right, guys. I gotta go eat something. Maybe take a nap. Wake up, do some chores. I don't know. Play some PlayStation 5 games out on the couch. Stretch my legs a little bit. Thank you all for joining me. I had a ton of fun, as I always do. Always fun hanging out with my Skyrim friends, playing Skyrim. Working on my builds, you know? So everybody have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you next time.